But yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul.
Today, we're looking at some TikToks that exposes celebrities' darkest secrets. Welcome back, family. Thank you to all the channel members for support. So apparently some more stuff about Trump and the Epstein files just got leaked. There's a video of Megan Fox claiming that sometimes celebrities drink other people's blood. And apparently Taylor Swift is also a dark priestess. So we're going to be taking a look at that today in this video. So make sure you guys watch till the end. You don't want to miss it. And as y'all know, remember to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Hype the video up so it gets pushed to way more people because they need to see this. Like, these things are actually crazy. Let's go.
Here are some morbid facts about Elvis Presley. This is the grave of Elvis's twin brother Jesse, who was stillborn. Elvis would often tell his friends and family that he had a persistent feeling that Jesse was somehow with him throughout his life. Wherever he went, Elvis always wore the cross, the Star of David, and the Hebrew word Chai. This was so that when he died, he wouldn't miss out on heaven due to a technicality. But regardless, Elvis's struggle with drugs towards the end of his life was a losing battle. In the first 8 months of 1977 alone, Elvis's doctor prescribed him more than 10,000 doses of sedatives, amphetamines, and narcotics. This all resulted in his untimely death while sitting on the toilet at the young age of 42. His stool was so backed up from the drugs and his horrendous diet that he hadn't taken a dump in at least 4 months.
4 months? You know how crazy that is? He probably felt like just horrible brain fog because like 4 months, that's like literally unheard of.
But yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you. That happens? It doesn't not happen, let me tell you. Maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times.
Death doesn't scare me, but you know what does? The music industry. So this creator, Epic Paranormal, just made a video about how he went to a Lana Del Rey concert and the vibes were really off. It wasn't only like the spooky vibe going on stage, but the fans in the crowd were doing really abnormal things. Like there was this one fan that was like screaming the entire concert, begging Lana Del Rey to unalive him. Like it was not normal crowd fan behavior. He said he kept trying to take pictures, and every time he did, his phone would distort the faces. Like, what is going on? And then how do you tell me that this is Lana Del Rey? Like that does not look like, that looks like a demon. Like she looks like a man in a mask and like a coat and like, ugh. And to give you a reference on why this is so weird, she was dressed like this. And it's not like one photo or one person, it was everyone. This girl upped the contrast of the photo, and you would think that it would make her look more like Lana Del Rey, but she looks less. She looks more like a demon or a man in a mask. Now you could argue he is a paranormal content creator. Is this just content he's trying to make? Who knows? But yeah, people are terrified. What do you think? Follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact.
I personally think that like the camera was too zoomed in.
It was wild that I didn't know how close my own wife was to the Clintons.
That you were married to her?
And well, I was married to her.
How close was she to the Clintons?
I mean, cell phone away, like, or hey, tell Ye to say this away, or hey, go out and use your platform to push the vaccination away.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible. Today, doing this is a very rare thing for me to do. Yeah, I definitely think it has been an ongoing thought which is don't lose yourself. I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves, and I've had friends that I've grown up with that aren't friends of mine anymore because they've lost themselves to this business. And I just am really, really keen to focus on what makes me happy, which is my family, it's my friends, it's my carpentry, my golf, the charity that my mum runs. Like, that is the stuff that makes me really happy, and that's the stuff that I should protect. My relationship is the thing that I keep most sacred. I don't talk about it. I try my best to keep it as private as possible. We both feel very strongly that that is the healthiest way for us to move on as a couple. So I do try to keep as removed from it as possible. Like, you'll never see me at an award show that I don't have to be at. I'm never going to a red carpet event that I'm not in the film of, you know? I don't want the attention when I don't need it.
Okay, so the Taylor Swift fans are going crazy because a video just came out of Taylor Swift smoking some... Ooh! What do y'all think, right? People are mad that Taylor Swift, who's supposed to be this super, like, role model, super person, is smoking. And I'm like, bro, she's like a 30-year-old woman. Like, she can smoke if she wants to. Like, what is y'all problem? She was not your role model. Y'all want her to be your role model. Are y'all actually mad that Taylor Swift smokes? Like, come on now. I mean, to be fair, we don't really know the consistency of how much she does it. But yeah, this whole role model thing that we give celebrities, we got to kind of stop that, because some of these celebrities are terrible people.
We have some major news right now. The White House is furious this evening as the Wall Street Journal is set to be publishing a bombshell report connecting Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. It's gotten so bad that, according to Oliver Darcy, who first reported this, Donald Trump himself personally called the editor-in-chief of the Wall Street Journal to voice his concerns and objections of the report. Now, we don't know what the report is, and what we don't know is if Donald Trump went to Rupert Murdoch, who owns the Journal, to voice his concerns to Murdoch, and whether or not the Wall Street Journal will continue to publish this report. But Darcy has said that essentially the Wall Street Journal has a Justice Department attorney who's willing to talk I don't know if it's on the record or off the record, so we'll have to see. But there is a bombshell report that has the White House furious, that has Donald Trump furious, and now it remains to be seen whether or not the Wall Street Journal is going to go through and publish it. If the Journal doesn't, then maybe Donald Trump was successful in killing it, but that would spark a whole host of fury from Republicans and Democrats alike. So let's see what happens next. Spread the word and follow along for more.
I've been getting a few DMs from some of you pointing out the strange amount of celebrities and people in high positions that claims that they're aliens. Check it out real quick.
I woke up in Philadelphia. I'm really from outer space, honestly. Honestly.
Why do you believe?
Because I'm an alien.
Why?
Because I'm an alien.
Explain.
I can't explain.
Do you really feel like you're not of this planet?
I don't know. No, I'm an alien.
Well, you know what?
Now, obviously, they could have just been joking, but a few people are starting to speculate that a lot of our celebrities and high people in political power are actually from secret continents that we don't know about, or are planning to go there as a reward for the way that they've influenced us. What's interesting is that I recently made a video talking about the theory that Antarctica is actually an ice wall that circles our 7 continents, and outside of this wall is multiple continents that we don't know about. If you listen closely to what artist Chris Brown said, when asked if he's not of this earth, he specifically says no, and then immediately says he's an extraterrestrial. Breaking that word down, extra means more, and terrestrial means of, on, or relating to the earth. So what if he wasn't lying and he is an alien from extra earth? But what do you think? I have a video of people who actually claim to have found a secret continent. I want you guys to check it out and leave your opinion in the comments.
During the surveys, strong evidence emerged of the existence of a new continent.
There were several factors that led us to perceive the existence of the new continent. With the launch of several atmospheric probes, equipped with cameras and other equipment, we were able to identify a territorial mass that is not included in our maps.
I feel like celebrities like to play a persona. Like, you know, a lot of them like to play like a demon persona, a devil persona, an alien persona. But in my opinion, there's also the celebrities that have like god complexes. Like, they've been hyped up by everyone so much that they genuinely think that they're gods or like an actual alien. When realistically, all you just do is make words rhyme in a catchy melody. That's literally all you do, and get paid millions.
If y'all really want to know what happens behind these closed Hollywood doors, watch this movie, Mulholland Drive. It's fucking crazy, and I'm going to tell you why. So the movie starts with this woman. Her name is Rita. She's in a fucking limousine trying to go where she's trying to fucking go, and she gets hit by a like they get into a whole accident, and when she leaves the car, she has no idea who the fuck she is, what she was doing, and where she was trying to go. She then breaks into this bitch's grandmother's apartment. This bitch name is Betty. She breaks into Betty's grandmother's apartment. Betty finds out and she's like, oh my God, like I didn't know my grandmother had a guest. And Betty is like this quintessential Hollywood wannabe actress. She just wants to chase her dreams. She's new to LA. She won a dancing competition so she can come out here and like explore the real Hollywood dream. And we'll get more into this later on. So Betty and Rita, they try to figure out who the fuck Rita really is. Like they don't really know her real name. Like she just came up with the name Rita. So they're trying to figure out who she is. And Rita has a name in her mind and she just says the name Diane Selwyn. So they try to figure out, oh my God, is Diane Selwyn actually Rita? So while they're doing all this, Betty's ass auditions for a movie. So Betty goes to like this big Hollywood studio and she like auditions for like this film, and she is like literally killing it. Like she's like the best actress they've seen. She is this part, and like she literally impresses the casting directors, the producers. She even goes so far to like make out with the I guess the producer or the writer. And you think, okay, she has the shit in the bag, but no, this shit gets crazy. Hold up. Because throughout the entire fucking film, like you see characters have like secret meetings in dark ass rooms. They pull out a picture of this bitch. Her name is Camilla. They keep saying she's the girl. She's the girl to pick for the new fucking film. We never see Camilla talk. We never hear her lines. We don't really know much about her, but we know that everyone in this Hollywood conspiracy behind these films, they keep saying she is the bitch to like choose. So long story short, Betty and Rita, they actually go to the woman Diane Selwyn's apartment. They break into this apartment and they find a dead body. They find a complete dead body, and it's fucking crazy.
What if I told you that this isn't Taylor Swift, but in fact, the high priestess of the Church of Satan, Zena LaVey? Some people go as far to believe that Taylor Swift is the exact clone, reincarnation of Zena LaVey. Some people will even say that she is Zena LaVey. It's kind of weird because they look the exact same, down to what they like. There's an image of both Taylor Swift fantasizing over holding snakes, and so does Zena LaVey. There's even an uncanny likability between their singing. What makes it even more strange is that some people won't even listen to Taylor Swift's music because they believe that her fan base is a cult. Sort of like Zena LaVey. Is it a coincidence? Or is Taylor Swift actually a vampire?
Nah, Taylor Swift definitely looks like that girl, but in my head it's like, if I was a dark priestess, why would I want to just let everyone know by looking the exact same? Like, I would at least try to change something.
This actor exposes how Hollywood really is. Listen closely.
With actors, you're in a vulnerable situation. You know, you're in a vulnerable place. You're trying to get a job, and there's people who could use that power to abuse it. I was a young actor. Yeah, I was asked to go to a hotel room of a director. There's a famous director, and I didn't think anything weird by it because I never think it had ever happened to me. And so I went, and he was in his robe. I still didn't think it was weird. Well, he probably just came out of the shower or whatever. And then he asked me to do, to do the scene and then crawl on my belly around it. And it got to a weird place. I remember that humiliation, and I didn't tell anybody. The agents are creeps too, and then trying to get a job, and the casting directors can be, and the people who are the producers, the directors. I mean, it's rampant in the industry. There's not one actress who doesn't have a story. Just before I was really famous, and the next thing I know, I'm in a room with this guy. He's in a chair. And, comes out in a bathrobe and sits in this chair. And the next thing you know, I'm like, he's asking me to like crawl on the ground and then to crawl toward him. And I just like, it was just this.
If you want to be in the entertainment industry, be careful and speak out.
You know how people often say that they can separate the artist from the art? Shia LaBeouf is one of those artists whose talent will never catch up to how truly dark and destructive and disturbing his past is. Considering that FKA Twigs and Shia are finally going to trial in October of this year for his alleged abuse of her, I thought we could go over the details of the lawsuit, their history, as well as Shia's very dark past. Because in my opinion, I don't believe FKA was the first and I don't believe she was the last. So like I always say, everything I'm about to say is alleged. You don't have to believe me because I am just some bitch on the internet and this is all public information. So FKA Twigs is a singer-songwriter from the UK. She has a beautiful, ethereal voice. Her and Shia met in 2018 on the set of his movie Honey Boy. They began dating just a year later. In late 2020, she goes on to file a lawsuit against Shia for alleged schmexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. According to Twigs, Shia LaBeouf forced her to sleep without any clothes on every single day because if she didn't, she was keeping herself from him. She alleges that he always wanted her to make herself available to him. She says Shia would tell her she was disgusting and vile. She alleges Shia knowingly gave her an STD, something he would later confirm. Allegedly, Shia would violently attack her while she was asleep. She would wake up to him, preventing her from breathing with his hands. Allegedly, Shia did not like when she spoke to or looked at male waiters, so she learned very early on that anytime a male was speaking to her, she would just keep her eyes down and just look at the floor. She alleges he had a minimum amount of times that he required that she kiss him or touch him every single day, and if she did not meet that minimum requirement, he would blow up, he would cause a scene, he would scold her. There's so much more about his behavior in general and how scary it was. She even talks about how to get ready for certain movie roles, he would go out and pew stray dogs. Now this just brings me back to when I talked about the really disturbing link between method acting and these really terrible abusive men in Hollywood like Jared Leto and James Franco. I think I talked about this in the James Franco video. Twigs alleges that she thought she would not be taken seriously if she went to the police, and she also feared ruining his career. Crazy enough, Sia hears about the lawsuit and she comes forward with her experience with Shia. Now, if y'all remember, he actually stars in the music video for Sia's song Elastic Heart, I believe. It's actually my favorite Sia song and it's a great music video. But she says that she felt conned into a relationship with him because at the time that he was dating Twigs, he led her to believe he was single. Sia saying, and I quote, that she has been hurt emotionally by Shia and that she believes he's a pathological liar and that he's very sick. Another one of Shia's exes comes forward. She was actually part of the lawsuit. She made a statement in it. Her name is Carolyn Fudd. She's a costume designer. And she says that Shia also did not let her look at or speak to male waiters. And she says that one time he headbutted her so hard that she bled. Shia is asked to make a statement, and in an email, he says that a lot of the allegations are not true, but that he owed these women the space to share their experience. But then his lawyers quickly thereafter deny every single allegation, saying that Twigs benefited and made millions from her relationship with Shia. Now, the case was delayed for a myriad of reasons, but Shia would go on a podcast in 2022 saying, "I hurt that woman, and in the process of doing that, I hurt many other people." He also says that he has a long list of people he needs to make amends to. Shia admitted to cheating on every single woman he's ever dated, never telling women up front that he has herpes type 1, and he admits to being an alcoholic and dealing with PTSD. He also says that he has a community of 60 men. They hold these weekly hour-long Zoom calls and that, they give him feedback in real time. Men will do everything but go to therapy. Shia is currently married. He has married actress Mia Goth. In 2015, they're in Germany and they're caught publicly arguing.
I don't want to touch you. I don't want to be aggressive. This is the kind of that makes a person abusive. I just want my guy to leave.
Now, the people filming this interaction is a group of guys that actually end up giving Shia a ride to the airport. In the car, they film Shia saying, "If I would have stayed there, I would have unalived her." Now, they would go get married in 2016, and in 2018, amid certain allegations of abuse, they actually separated. They reconciled in 2022, and she had a baby shortly thereafter. Shia says that in 2022, Mia also saved his life.
Celebrity secrets that were revealed by their staff. Selena Gomez. She leaves her underwear lying around for her staff to see. Jennifer Lopez. She doesn't pay her assistants. Britney Spears. Her maid found her leaving food under furniture and leaving her clothes everywhere. Madonna. She has a toilet phobia and asks her staff to clean the toilet before she goes. Jennifer Aniston. Her bodyguard reported that she is rarely fully dressed at home. Justin Bieber. It has been rumored more than once by his staff that he has been caught sleeping with them.
Alright, tell me this isn't weird, because at this point, they're not even hiding it anymore. You remember Castaway, right? Tom Hanks stranded on an island, losing his mind, talking to a volleyball, covered in red handprint? Purely symbolic, right? Or is it something way darker? But why is this symbol on the same hoodies of some of the most powerful celebrities in the world? Jay-Z, Ellen, why are they rocking this image? Is it just a coincidence, or is this another case of hiding in plain sight? And if you know anything about certain conspiracy circles, you already know what the red handprint supposedly means. I can't say the word here, but look it up. But don't say I didn't warn you. Aleister Crowley once said, "Evil must hide in plain sight, for the rules of the universe demand that the deceived must consent to their deception." They're not going to tell you directly, but there will be signs. By the way, I just dropped a new YouTube video. It's called The Banned Night Vision Goggles That Revealed Demons. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. Link is in my bio. As always, thank you for watching.
Celebrities have literally been telling us that Satan is in control of Hollywood for a very long time, and most people miss it.
Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
Sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
Why is your hand over your eye?
Because I'm a devil worshiper, what are you talking about? All right, well, I had tickets to see the devil worshiper.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
There are so many celebrities who have actually sold their soul to the devil. You may think it's just a joke, but they are being serious. Fame, fortune, power, it all sounds good until they realize they got it at the expense of their soul. The Bible says, what does it profit a man if they gain the world but they lose their soul? Satan doesn't give out free gifts, but he traps you. And the truth is, Jesus is the only one who can set you free. He's the only one who can give you life and life to the fullest. You don't need a deal with the devil. You need to align with the purpose that God has for your life. If you want to learn more about the biblical truths, then follow now.
Did you know Albert Einstein would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night screaming, convinced he had seen visions of the universe tearing itself apart? Those close to him say he would rush to his desk, hands trembling, scribbling equations he swore were whispered to him in the darkness. Neighbors reported hearing him pacing for hours, muttering about forces beyond time and a shadow behind the stars. In his final years, colleagues noticed his gaze drifting mid-conversation, as if listening to something no one else could hear. Secret notebooks later discovered were filled with strange symbols, chaotic diagrams, and numbers modern scientists admit make no sense. Some who studied them described an eerie sensation, like the formulas themselves were staring back. The most disturbing detail is that Einstein never destroyed these writings. Instead, he preserved them, leaving behind unanswered questions, and the fear he had unlocked something humanity was never meant to see.
They used to say there's a thin line between mentally insane and genius.
The bizarre birthday card allegedly sent by Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein has made major waves across the political world. On Monday, the House Oversight Committee released hundreds of pages from Epstein's estate, including a birthday book from Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003 that was filled with sketches, photos, and notes from powerful figures. Among them was a sketch of a naked woman with a note reportedly signed by Trump saying, quote, "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?" The card ends with the line, line, quote, "May every day be another wonderful secret." Trump denies ever writing it, even going so far as suing the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion for defamation after first reporting about the letter in June. The paper stands by its reporting and published a handwriting analysis, claiming the signature matches Trump's past writing. The president is now declining to discuss it further, calling the card a, quote, "dead issue."
So he wrote this?
Supposedly.
The voice, it says voiceover, like he's like a movie star, like he's in a script. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Who talks like this? Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do. Come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Ugh.
Yeah.
A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. May every day be another wonderful secret. Ooh.
It's quite strange.
But it's also like the way, like, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Like, if one of my friends sent me that, I'd be like, I'm getting a new number.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Get
need
a
help.
new number.
Why
And-
didn't you just write happy birthday?
Yeah, what
happy
the is wrong with you, Enigma?
Happy birthday, Jeff. That's all I want.
That's what I was saying earlier, bro. It's like we gotta stop idolizing these celebrities because some of them can be weird. Like, I don't really know if what that said about Trump is true, like that whole thing, but like, it's still kind of weird.
Kris Jenner hosted my baby showers. The whole family was amazing to me. I ended up marrying someone who was someone when I married them, and then the day after just became somebody different. So I rarely saw Kris after that. It was the isolation, the alienation, not to see the friends as much anymore. I remember one episode when I had Ruby. They thought it would be really cute to have Chloe babysit Ruby. So I'm like, yeah, that'd be so funny. He was like adamant, absolutely not, no. My assistant at the time, Liz, Heather McDonald's best friend growing up, during the time that Liz was with me, I introduced her to Kris, and Liz is efficient. And so one day Liz came to me and that was it. She's like, she went to work with Kris. I mean, I can't buy Liz a fucking Birkin bag for Christmas. You know what I mean? There's no competition. But it's a cutthroat world out there. I mean, Liz helped get that lip kit for Kylie. The people I introduced Kris to now won't give me her phone number. That's how gross fucking Hollywood is.
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh, I want to talk to Kris now because I've been divorced for 10 years. I'd love to talk to Kris and like have dinner with her and tell her what. And they're like, and I'm like, can I get Kris's email? And I'm not kidding you. Like, they won't get back to me, or I'm like, holy balls. And then I'd say, did I do something wrong?
You even have a scar on your ear? You got anything on there?
I do.
What do we say? What do you got
So, right over here.
there? Oh, it's a tiny little
See,
mark.
it zicked right there.
Yeah. It healed up pretty fucking good.
Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's little.
All these stars have caught mysterious illnesses since they became famous, and the connection between them is terrifying. I have to talk about Ariana Grande first. Yes, she's sick. It's been a few months now, and we've seen her losing dozens of pounds. She looks more and more like a skeleton. Her condition is very alarming. Madonna, who was once at the peak of her career, the very embodiment of 80s pop. However, over the years, her appearance has drastically changed. No, I'm not talking about plastic surgery or aging. There's something darker behind it all. Now, you're about to see one of the creepiest transformations, the case of Wendy Williams. Her life took a complete turn in an instant on live TV. Right there, on set, she saw something that scared her so much that she fainted. Ever since that incident, she's been suffering from an obscure illness, just like many other stars. One thing connects all these celebrities. They all spoke out against the terrible actions of their industry. And strangely, soon after, something serious happened to them, almost as if someone wanted to silence them. What is this strange illness? Could someone be behind what's happening to them? What do you think? If you like my videos and want to support me, click the link in my bio.
This billionaire was secretly running one of the most disturbing illegal operations in modern history. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier with powerful friends, from politicians to celebrities. But behind the luxury lifestyle, Epstein was running a massive human trafficking ring, targeting underage girls. For years, he used his private island, jets, and mansions to hide his crimes, while staying protected by his elite connections. In 2008, he got a sweetheart deal, serving just 13 months for charges that should have put him away for life. But in 2019, it all came crashing down. Epstein was arrested again, facing federal charges. A month later, he was found dead in his jail cell under suspicious circumstances. Many believed the full truth about his operation, and who was involved died with him. Follow for more shocking stories about the crimes of the rich and powerful.
Here is a really sad blind item if it is true, because according to the blind items, Justin Bieber has allegedly been having a very hard time since Diddy's arrest, and he is struggling more now than ever with substance abuse. Speaking of singers and substances and ODing, don't be shocked if this north of the border singer ends up unalive from an OD. He hasn't been this bad in 5 or 6 years. And again, this is allegedly Justin Bieber. And the related headline reads, "This is so disturbing. Video of Justin Bieber from P. Diddy's party is uncomfortable to watch for fans after recent revelation." In the wake of P. Diddy's arrest following several allegations of racketeering and trafficking, an old video of the rapper together with singer Justin Bieber resurfaced online and garnered concern from fans. The disturbing clip was taken at a birthday party, and the Canadian star looked wasted and seemingly unaware of his surroundings. The controversy between P. Diddy, or real name Sean Combs, and Bieber wasn't new at all. Still, the renewed attention was brought about by the multiple lawsuits the rapper is currently facing after he was taken into custody in New York.
Big conversation is set around the Yummy music video that was released in 2020. Justin arrives in a pink hoodie. He finds himself walking through the kitchen to get to this large banquet hall where it looks like some sort of colorful wedding. You know, there's large tables of well-dressed individuals sitting around being posh. They're almost dressed over the top to seem very glamorous. Right when he enters the party, to his right is a young girl wearing a red bodysuit. Netizens have said this feels very significant. Just keep in mind, this red bodysuit is going to come up again, but there is a young girl who appears to be a minor wearing a red sparkly bodysuit playing the violin. Justin sits down at a table, and netizens have pointed out that everyone nearby is much older than him. They appear middle-aged. Everybody's already eating. He gets served this very interesting dish, which people have really dissected. It's a few pieces of bread with a cherry on top, and then another bread propped up against the other slices, so it looks almost like a shield for the cherry. For the first bit, it appears Justin Bieber is to a degree enjoying himself, and netizens state that the whole party atmosphere shifts when the food gets served, and it's all this unappetizing food. It's really gross looking food. You know those weird jello cakes with vegetables? Looks like jello mounds with just peas, green peas inside. But everyone at the table is served this disgusting food, and the only thing sitting in front of Justin Bieber now is not the food, it's just a glass of pink liquid. So now people are connecting the drugging that was done at parties, or the alleged drugging that was done at parties, to this music video. Again, I don't know if this is a warranted connection. I'm just telling you, these are what netizens are pointing out. Eventually, in the middle of the music video, women start coming out from under the table, and they're all younger women now, and they're all dressed in elements of white, which people have pointed out. The music video then switches the lighting from the overhead lighting, if you will, to the black light. So it almost feels like the party is starting. And what goes from regular lighting, everybody's wearing these bright colors, black light turns on, and the white becomes sharper, and people think it looks like a white party because everything looks kind of white in black light. Then abruptly, the party is over, and it's just Justin and a few people left to clean up the mess or deal with the after effects, is what some netizens say. He's alone at his table now. There is a red sparkly suit draped over the chair next to him, and that was the outfit the young girl in the beginning had likely been wearing. And it appears that she was a minor, so the connotation, if this is what the creative aspect is. At the end, there is an empty plate. The plate has a picture of younger Justin on there with the word yummy written underneath. A lot of netizens have said, quote, also if you sing it a certain way, it sounds like he's saying young me instead of yummy, and the lyrics make so much more sense.
Dude, that one is so crazy. Like, it just, there was definitely a lot of symbolism in that Yummy video. Like, if you guys haven't listened to Yummy by Justin Bieber, or even seen the music video, go watch it right after this video. The video is about to end anyway, so like, go watch it after the video. It's crazy, bro. And isn't it me, or does that girl in the red dress kind of look like Selena Gomez?
You guys know Nardwuar. Well, did you know he was bullied so bad when he was young, and that's why he's able to know every little detail about everyone he interviews. If you do not know who Nardwuar is, he's arguably one of the best interviewers of all time, and he's able to find out personal information about someone that they didn't even know. To the point where he literally had little Uzi Vert running out of the room. But this isn't all sunshines and rainbows, because back in the early days when he first started his interviews, the bands and the people were very mean to him, and they would bully him, would call him mean names and diminish him and basically make him feel like he's nothing. And this changed Nardwar's attitude because in the beginning he tried to ask super specific questions, and now he just kind of goes with the vibe and asks questions on how he feels. And this honestly made him a giant meme all over the internet because this guy said if you ever apply for a job, you better pray Nardwar isn't the one doing the background check because he'll find out anything about you. For example, Snoop Dogg actually wasn't able to get his hands on the Smokefest World Tour unreleased recordings that he made. Nardwar was actually the one that gave it to Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg freaked out and he was super surprised by the whole situation.
It was crazy the things that he actually knew about a lot of these celebrities. Even these celebrities are like, dude, that's not even known publicly.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. A scuba heist has happened at Disney, in Disney, Florida, specifically in Disney Springs. If you ever been to the Anaheim Disneyland, it's the same thing as downtown Disney. It's their version of it. There is a restaurant called Paddlefish. Now, the reason we call it a scuba heist is because a perpetrator shortly after midnight Monday went in with full scuba gear. I'm talking the wetsuit and the goggles, and he actually ended up using it. There was a purpose. He went in when there was 2 employees who were depositing cash into a safe around $10,000 to $20,000. Told the employees get down, then proceeded to rob the safe. Oddly enough, he was unarmed, so thankfully the employees are safe. They're okay. They're a little shaken up, but that scuba gear literally came into play because he took the money and then went out the back and jumped into the water and took off. They have not found him at all. Used the scuba gear, took out the cameras as well. You'll see it in the photos. Hit the follow and the like button. That's been your breaking news.
Yo, that's actually crazy. That reminded me of this GTA heist that I did.
Where are you? You're in the neighborhood? Yeah. I need your license, sir. Yeah, you are.
He said that he was trying to run. Bro looked like he could not even walk if he even wanted to.
This frightening video shows a pod of orcas attacking a tourist sailboat off Portugal. The so-called killer whales repeatedly ramming the vessel, eventually sinking it. Several people had to be rescued. Later that day, the same pod reportedly attacking another boat.
Oh my God!
It's the latest in a series of aggressive acts by orcas, which can grow as long as 30 feet and weigh up to 6 tons. Some 700 incidents have been reported in recent years, most off Spain and Portugal. In 2023, this orca ripping off a boat's rudder with its teeth. And last year, this $128,000 yacht was taken down by a pod of orcas in the Mediterranean.
All of a sudden, I felt a really loud bang on the back of the boat, and I could feel sort of like a scraping. They carried on attacking and biting the rudder.
Robert Powell and his crew were sailing to Greece when he says at least 5 killer whales attacked his boat. He believes the orcas, known for their intelligence, knew exactly what they were doing.
They knew the weakness of the boat. They knew where to hit it.
But many scientists say orcas are not targeting humans, and the incidents are not meant to be aggressive. Instead, they claim it's most likely just bored teenage orcas having fun and mimicking each other.
These are facts that will make you rethink life. Up first, did you know that dolphins cut off the head of smaller fish and then use their body for masturbation? This is pretty gross and funny, and I didn't know dolphins were demons like this. Next up, since jellyfish are 98% water, if they are left in the sun for too long, they will evaporate. Just imagine watching a jellyfish evaporate right before your eyes. Next up, a mild electric shock to a person's brain can actually improve their math skills Up to 6 months. So if you're struggling in math, just give yourself a little electric shock to your brain.
Only has the body been identified, but it is being said that the body was actually dismembered. Do you guys remember about the story that was coming down all of our news feeds about a body being found in a Tesla trunk that was registered to a well-known singer or a musician by the name of David? Now, it was said that that Tesla was sitting at an impound, but it was registered to him. He was on tour. He was being 100% cooperative with the authorities, but they were having trouble trying to identify this person. But based on the weight, the height, and what they described about the body that they had found, a lot of people were saying that sounds like a child. Well, it is a child. That person has been identified as Celeste Hernandez, who was reported missing back on April of 2024 when she was just 13 years of age. Now, her mother stated when she heard the news clip, she felt like it fit the description of her daughter, but it was the tattoo description that really sealed it for her. Now, this young lady, Celeste, has a matching tattoo on her finger with the singer, David. And that tattoo says, shh, kind of like the one that Rihanna has. Now, this man is about 20 years of age. This young girl was 13 when she went missing. Her birthday is on 9/7 of 2010. So she would have turned 14 after she passed away. And then she'll turn 15 this year, or she did turn 15 this year. They're saying that her time of death is September 8th, which would have been the date after her 15th birthday. Now, they are still saying that he's being cooperative, but he's still on tour. They haven't arrested him, but they are looking at this, of course, as a homicide investigation. Now, remember, the car was towed on September 8th after someone called in reporting that the car had been abandoned. It was then taken to an impound, and that impound smelt a bad odor and called the authorities, in which they came out, and that's when they discovered this decomposing body. And that's when authorities said that the body was not intact, meaning that it was dismembered. So we'll see what happened, because it is really weird. The mom also stated that her daughter's boyfriend's name was David at the time that she went missing. The singer's name is David. The car is registered to David, but the car was allegedly abandoned. Was it abandoned by him? Was he already on tour? Again, he has not been arrested, but this is really, really crazy.
Why on her birthday? It's not just weird. As soon as she turned 15, she's gone. Because they said that by the way her body decomposed, that means she died around the 8th. The 8th, and her birthday's the 7th. So it's like...
Breaking news, authorities are now searching David's home, and some crazy new details have been released. So last night, a swarm of officers was seen searching the Hollywood Hills home where the Tesla registered to David was originally towed from. And people are saying this is obviously David's home because he's literally posted videos and TikToks from inside, and there was a red Tesla found in the garage. They seized a computer and other items, but haven't revealed anything else. They also revealed that Celeste was not found complete. They found a head, a torso, and other limbs, and it's unclear whether all of her was even there. They also leaked a song by David titled Celeste, where he mentions her name 2 times, says he loves her and he's missing her so much. Not to mention his hit song Romantic H was released on September 7th, which is Celeste's birthday, where he says, "In the back of my mind, you died. I didn't even cry, not a single tear, and I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive." And then says, you, and didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. Rest in peace to Celeste. Let me know what you guys think, and as anything comes out, I'll keep you guys updated.
So this woman is forced to rob a bank with a bomb strapped to her back. The story's wild. And it all starts with this guy, Christopher. And Christopher, he's a nightclub photographer, whatever that is, living in California, but that's not his only gig. The other thing he does is he occasionally robs banks. I guess he and his accomplices have successfully hit up a few banks in the past and made themselves a bit of cash. And one day in 2000, I don't know if he spent it all or what, but bro ends up back in a position where he really needs to make some money, fast. And so Christopher comes up with a plan to rob this local bank, and the way he does it is absolutely insane. First, he pairs up with his fiancée, this woman, Lisa, and together they pick out this nearby bank that they want to hit. Their plan is actually to kidnap an employee of that bank, strap a bomb to them, and force that person to rob the bank for them. Just like walk right in and clean out the vault. And so they scope out the place, and they identify their victim, the employee they're gonna kidnap, this woman, Michelle. Michelle, she works at that bank, she's actually the branch manager, and so Christopher starts stalking her, and they watch her and they follow her around. They're trying to learn as much as they can about Michelle and the bank before they pull off this heist. And months go by. And I guess part of their plan is to scope out the bank on the inside, and so Christopher schedules a meeting with Michelle as if he is a potential customer. So he goes in and he meets with her and he talks to her about investments or whatever. And when the meeting is done, on his way out, he leaves her his business card. It says he's a nightclub photographer. Now, since they're about to kidnap her, I don't know why he would leave a business card, but whatever. It's what he does. Regardless, Michelle has no idea what's about to happen to her. So she goes home from work after her shift ends like she normally does. And she lives there with her young daughter, who we'll call Seven, because she's 7. And so Michelle and Seven, they're at home, chilling, minding their business or whatever, and suddenly, boom, 3 masked men bust in through the door, and they're armed. And the men are Christopher and 2 goons that he brought with him. And so they grab Michelle and they tie her up with duct tape. Then they do the same thing to Seven. Then one of the men points a pistol at Seven and he tells Michelle, tomorrow you're gonna rob the bank you work at or we're gonna unalive your daughter. Now, while Christopher and the goons are inside, Lisa is actually outside as a lookout communicating with Christopher through a walkie-talkie. And at some point, Lisa informs the crew that Michelle's roommate is pulling up, because I guess her roommate is just now getting home. And so roommate walks in the house, and the goons, they're ready for her. And boom, they grab her and they tie her up too. Now, it's nighttime, so the bank isn't open yet. It doesn't open until the next morning. And so Michelle, Seven, and the roommate all have to wait there in this house as hostages all through the entire night, which I'm sure is absolute hell for them. And so morning comes, and they wake Michelle and all of them up because, it's time to go rob this bank. But here's where it gets really crazy. In order to get Michelle to follow through with this robbery, they strap a bomb to her back, like sticks of dynamite with a detonator and everything. Here's an actual picture of what it looks like strapped to her. And they also strap a bomb to Seven's back and also to Michelle's roommate. And so they've all got dynamite strapped to them. And these goons tell Michelle that if she screws this heist up, they're gonna set off all this dynamite and unalive her, her daughter, and her roommate. So, what can Michelle do? She's gotta rob this bank. So there Michelle is, driving her Jeep to the bank while Christopher is in the back seat holding her up with a pistol just in case she tries to get away or something. Then they get there and they park and they wait for the Brinks trucks to arrive to drop off a bunch of money for the bank to use. Because they fill up the vault with money every morning, I guess. Once the truck drops off a load of cash, Christopher tells her that she's got 5 minutes to get in and get out. And if she doesn't in 5 minutes, he's gonna blow her up. So Michelle goes inside and she's carrying a briefcase that Christopher gave her. Then she goes up to one of the tellers, and immediately the teller knows something is off about her. Something's wrong, Michelle's just not being herself. And so Michelle drags this teller into the vault with her, and she straight up tells her what's going on. She's like, I have dynamite on my back, and I need to clear this vault of money or my daughter and I are gonna die. And she lifts up the back of her shirt, and she shows the teller that there's dynamite strapped to her. And so this teller starts freaking out. but she doesn't want Michelle to get blown up. So she starts helping her stuff a bunch of cash into this duffel bag that was inside that briefcase. And they fill this bag with a ton of money, like $360,000. Then Michelle tells her, don't call the police, because if you do, they're gonna blow us up. And I guess the teller's like, all right. Then Michelle grabs the bag of money and she hurries out of the bank. And she jumps back into her car with Christopher still in the back, and she drives away. After they drive a couple of blocks, he tells her to stop at the end of this dead-end street, and he orders her to get out, but that in a little bit she can walk down the street and pick up her Jeep where it will be parked. I guess he's getting into another getaway vehicle and he doesn't want her to see what it looks like. I don't know, these guys are weird. So she does all that. Christopher drives away in the Jeep with the bag of money, and a bit later, she walks a few blocks over and finds her Jeep parked, and she gets in it and she races back to her house because she's still got a bomb strapped to her, and so does her daughter. So she gets home and she busts through the door and she finds that Christopher, Lisa, and the goons, they're all gone at this point. But her daughter, Seven, and her roommate are actually safe. They have removed their bombs. And so they cut the dynamite off Michelle and they call police. Here's the thing though. The bombs that they strapped on Michelle and the other two, they actually weren't real. It was like a broomstick cut up and painted to look like dynamite. And the pistols that Christopher and the goons were using, they were also fake. They were actually BB guns. So the whole thing was faked. Like they were never in the danger that they thought that they were in. But of course, they didn't know that, so they acted accordingly. But at this point, Christopher and Lisa and the other goons have fled with all the money, and it just seems like they might just get away with this whole scheme. Until police end up questioning Michelle about all this. And she tells them that while she was being held hostage, she noticed the main robber's eyes. They're the same eyes of a man who came into the bank the day before. That man is a nightclub photographer, and he had given her his frickin' business card. And so police are probably like, well, surely this guy can't be that fucking dumb. Meanwhile, Christopher and Lisa are now chilling at their home, and they only live a few miles away from the bank. And so police, they start surveilling them. And like a week later, they get pulled over in a traffic stop, and bam, they arrest them. Here's Christopher's mugshot, and here's a picture of Lisa being interrogated. I don't have her mugshot. And months later, bam, they arrest one of the goons. Then bam, they arrest the other goon. Here's one of the guy's mugshots, and here's the other guy's mugshot. And both goons get life in prison, while Christopher also gets life in prison, while Lisa is actually found not guilty. I guess because she didn't actually go into the house during this whole thing, so they couldn't actually identify her. So Lisa gets off. No prison time for her.
But she literally like told them like, yo, someone's coming. In my opinion, that's still helping. So she should get something.
Could someone please explain to me why legitimately everything just happened in the past couple days? Like an abnormal amount of monumental things have just occurred. Like depending on when you're watching this, just yesterday, 2 schools and Charlie Kirk just got pew-pewed. There's now hard evidence that Trump participated in Epstein's freaky activities. Like there's letters and photos. Also, Europe/NATO is now in World War III because Russia just flew drones into Poland. Oh, also France's government collapsed, and now there's like insane protests in France. Not to mention Nepal's government just got overthrown, and their government buildings are legitimately on fire. And just the cherry on top, apparently we found life on Mars, and Apple released a bunch of new products. I am overstimulated, guys. I am at stim capacity. We are going to look back in history on September 10th, 2025, and just be like, what? Why? Why is everything happening? It's gotta go down in the history books. And I'm not trying to make light of this situation. Like a lot of the things that happened are very serious. It's just wild to me that they all happened in like the same day. Like, are y'all overstimulated or is it just me?
You know, one of my friends said it the best. He said, people die every day. You know what I'm saying? People die every day. There's probably the craziest death that you probably could think about that people have died, but it never got news coverage. He said to me that, like, it's something where they show you what they want you to see to spread whatever agenda they want to spread, in my opinion.
Watch this.
close enough, bud. That's close enough. Close enough, buddy. It's close enough. Get out of here. Go. Go.
The more you learn about moose, the more you realize they are not very nice creatures. And just their size alone is intimidating because a big bull moose can weigh up to over 1,200 pounds, up to close to 1,500 pounds. And then it's not like they're these big, slow creatures. Like they can run almost 30 miles an hour, if not a little over that. And they're just not scared of humans. Like elk and deer, they'll might get close to you, but as soon as they realize they're close to a human, they're pretty much always going to bolt away. Moose, as you see in this clip, it's just not that way. They're not scared of humans. They're not necessarily like tame animals, but they're just not scared, and I think that's a lot due to their just overall size. And as you can see in this clip, a moose, especially a big bull moose, will get close to you and not necessarily just run away.
There was literally a moose spotted in my neighborhood. Like, this girl that I know literally took a video of a moose in her backyard. I was like, that's crazy.
3, 2, 1, fire.
Hey man, did y'all hear about the dude in North Carolina, man? Say he was driving on the highway and he seen a man bleeding from like his head, like blood was coming down from his head onto his chest. like, you know, like he got hit in the head with something. So, of course, he calls 911. So he on the phone with the operator, and as he talking to her, he feels something jump on the back of his pickup truck. You know, you got a bed on the back of your pickup truck. He said when the thing hit his pickup truck, it was like he hit a pothole, like his truck went up and down. So he cut the bed light on so he could see what jumped in the back of his truck. He said that the damn creature was looking through his rear window. That's when he was telling the operator, like, it ain't human, it ain't human, it ain't human. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all remember when George Bush's vice president, Cheney, boom, blasted a dude he went hunting with? Well, that's not the craziest part of the story. The craziest part is the dude who Cheney went hunting with right here. His name was Harry. He did pass away. Recently, not because of the whole hunting incident. Excuse the timing. The dude he went hunting with ended up apologizing to the vice president for getting blasted by him. The vice president's response was, appreciate you. He didn't apologize back. Now, to understand why, first you must understand the incident. It all started because Harry had a problem. Cheney thought he was in a Call of Duty lobby. It'll make sense in a moment. It's the day of the hunting incident. Harry gets a phone call. It's a mutual friend of Harry and Cheney. Harry and Cheney didn't really know each other like that. His friend said, yo, fall through, we finna go hunting. Harry says, bet. Harry pulls up. He sees Cheney, said, what's good, Cheney? Cheney says, I'm ready to go. Y'all ready to go? He said, yeah. They hunted. Harry, boom, he gets a bird. Everybody says, ooh, Harry, good shot. Harry says, appreciate y'all. He goes over to check on the bird. Cheney said, my turn, where my bird at? The group finds another flock of birds. Cheney's on the prowl. Whole time, Harry is coming back to the group. A bird flies over Cheney's head. Cheney decides to 360 no scope, no exaggeration. Cheney thought he was playing Call of Duty. He leans to the left. Boom, he said, lean to the left and crank that thing up. Ooh, everybody said, ooh. He said, I said, ooh. They said, no, ooh, you got Harry, ooh. Cheney said, ooh. Did I get the bird though? Boom, they rush Harry to the hospital. Now here's where things start to get wicked. It's a bad time for Bush's presidency at the moment. They call up Bush. Bush says, it's a bad time right now. They said, well, we got worse news. Cheney just blasted a dude. He said, my vice president, Cheney, they said, he blasted a dude. Bush said, Cheney, come here. Cheney said, sir, I was leaning to the left, but it's not that bad. He seemed fine. They said, sir, we just got a report that Harry just had a heart attack due to the pellets. See, the thing is, Cheney blasted him with something called bird shot, which is like hundreds of pellets that fly to like hit the bird. Harry was hit with 200 pellets. This was big news. Cheney didn't respond for days while they were trying to figure out the story, and it became an even worse look. But luckily for them, Harry makes it out of the hospital and apologizes. He basically said he's sorry that this whole event was probably a distraction for Cheney's busy schedule. Bush looked at Cheney. Cheney looked at Bush. Cheney said, gang time, big. Somebody walked in. Cheney said, ooh, and I just feel so bad for him. They said, sir, you want us to put out a report saying that you're sorry? Cheney says, sorry? Boy, he the one who apologized, make it seem like it was his fault. The news ended up making it seem like it was Harry's fault. Somebody interviews Harry years later, and Harry explains, alluding to the fact that it was all Cheney's fault. Lean to the left, 360 no scope. The interviewer says, okay, well, you apologize. Did he ever apologize to you back? Harry says, no comment.
Okay guys, some pretty major developments happening overnight. After over 20 years of hosting the late night show, Jimmy Kimmel has just been cancelled for comments that he made about Charlie Kirk. In fact, it was just hours before he was about to go on air, he was told that ABC indefinitely suspended the show, and while we haven't heard his thoughts directly from him, sources have told the Daily Mail that he is absolutely furious and that they've never seen him this angry. In fact, they go as far as saying that he is actively looking for ways to get out of his contract and break relations with ABC forever. But here's what's crazy. He has been doing this show since 2003, and also this is a talk show, and they've made thousands of jokes over the years pushing the line through multiple administrations. So for this all to be coming to an end over comments that he made about Charlie Kirk signals something majorly significant. Now, how you perceive that significance is for you to decide. Trump has celebrated it. He thinks it's a good thing. He says that it's a win for America, and he said that Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers should be next, while others are calling calling it an attack on free speech. But no matter what happens, I think, people like Fallon, they've been around for too long. They're too big to just get rid of overnight. In fact, we had something pretty similar over here in the UK with Piers Morgan after he left Good Morning Britain over comments that he made. But a few months later, he signed a £50 million deal for only 3 years, and now he's crushing it on YouTube, probably getting more views than he ever has before. Point is, yes, this is significant, but I don't think it's the last that we're going to be hearing from Fallon.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's way too big to just be like pushed to the side, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might get a deal with Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Play, or whatever that shit's called, Hulu. You might get a deal with them. I don't think he's just gonna go away, but I feel like it was mostly just Trump. Like, Trump was just like, yeah, nah, screw that dude, because Trump was happy. Trump said the craziest things I've ever seen him say. I'm gonna put it in the video. I've seen Trump being excited about him quitting and heard that he said some crazy stuff about Charlie Kirk, but I never actually heard what he said, so I'm gonna put it in the video.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
Yes, okay. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Let me know if you guys think that was enough for him to get canceled in the comments.
You guys ever heard of simulation theory? Have you ever heard of this S that we all used to draw in school? Well, somehow we all figured out how to draw this thing for no reason. No rhyme or reason whatsoever, and now there's a theory on why. This is supposedly the logo for the company that runs our simulation, and somehow it's bled through into our whatever reality we live in, right? It's very strange how every single kid across the United States, maybe even other countries, was drawing this S repeatedly on a daily basis since I don't know how long ago. And ever since then, things have gotten progressively worse. This makes you wonder, like, how our brains all got systematically taken over at the same time, and why everything has gotten progressively worse since we started drawing this thing. This S corporation is out of line. The difficulty settings are super high. Maybe, just maybe, if we start drawing the S again, we could trigger the simulation and fix everything that went wrong, dude. What if it's a portal or something, dude? We stopped drawing it. We stopped drawing it and everything got worse. We gotta start drawing the S again.
To be fair, there was this company known as Suzuki. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's like a Japanese car company, and they used to have that same symbol. So I feel like a lot of people probably saw that symbol from either that or like a movie or some other, maybe a band or something, and then that's why they start to draw it. That's my guess. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that.
A man that goes by the name of Big Daddy Vio 1037 on Facebook captured something really strange during the solar eclipse that happened recently. Check this out.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, please don't think I'm crazy. I promise you I'm not. Well, not totally crazy anyway. So, it's currently 3:05 in the morning, and scrolling through other people's videos, ADD, and I was watching videos of the eclipse, and I saw this.
Emotional right now. Oh, there we go.
Did you see that? I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna play it again. zoom in more and slow it down this time. What was that? If it was a solar flare, why did it come straight out of the moon? Why does it look like a window opening up? And why is there smoke coming out? Again, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep. Maybe I'm crazy, but that looked really weird. And I'm searching up and I don't see anybody talking about it, like nobody saw it.
Yeah, it did kind of look like a solar flare. To me, it's either a camera glitch or a glitch in the Matrix.
This ring in a box. I'm like, oh, my ring fell off. No, it didn't. It's the same.
Your hands are literally.
I'm shaking. It's so weird.
Okay, that's brown. Okay. Rusty brown. What color does it look like? Still brown, like a light brown. Okay, you ready? Is that a different kind of light? What? What? Are those different bulbs? What is going on? Do you have different bulbs in there?
That's a neon light. That's
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so crazy.
Yo, who left their shadow, bro? Like, nobody's here. Like, nobody's here. Who left their shadow? Come get it. It's at Planet Fitness. If you want your shadow back, it's right there. Hold on, clear. It's like, you can't see, bro. Oh, there it is.
I just got back from a lung cancer simulation, which made me think, am I in a simulation? Because when you study the top of consciousness research, you'll find that your neurons contain tubes called microtubules, which could potentially hold quantum information that, when collapsed, allow you to perceive time and experience life. But they don't answer the question, when did the soul or consciousness come into the body? And when you study embryology, specifically this book, which was written by an OB-GYN who also studies quantum mechanics, you'll find that this really is a simulation, because you, me, and everyone else that has consciousness is light, quantum entangled or tied to mass, so that you can perceive time and experience the world. You are literally light. And when you think about it, well, light helped evolve us into humans, and light was also there at the beginning of time, at the Big Bang. So what does that make us? That's something that I think everyone should know.
I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours on a beautiful day. Daydreams.
This is what different dimensions look like.
Okay, so we have a glass table in someone's kitchen. Boom. There is a whole nother world, a whole nother dimension, all around us, all the time. But we can't see it. Stay weird, y'all.
If we are in a simulated reality, which the evidence suggests is true.
The math is proved.
The scientific studies are telling us beyond any reasonable doubt that this is, they're telling us there's not even much of us here. You know, we're pretty much empty space. An atom is 99.99, you go out 10 decimal places, 99.999% empty space. There's not much of us here. The real us is projecting. We are the avatars. Mm-hmm. The real us is projecting it, and now we are mimicking that, building our own virtual realities and projecting this little there is of us into another reality from the perspective of a simulation. What we're seeing are fractal patterns, civilizations rise and fall, geologic processes ebb and flow, and humankind and civilization ebbs and flows, always moving a little higher toward a greater understanding. And this, I think, is the purpose of all of the spiritual traditions and all of the relationships and all of the mediumship and all of the channeling. It's all about us.
When people talk about the theory that we live in a simulation, generally we think about us being plugged up to a computer somewhere while our consciousness is in a false reality that we think is real. But there is a new theory that's been going around in regards to the simulation theory that's a little bit strange. As some of y'all might remember, I talked about the theory that there is two suns in the sky, one being our natural sun and the other being an artificial sun that was placed there. I pulled up a patent that was filed in 1961 called an illumination system, which was created with the intention of simulating sunlight, moonlight, and earthlight. And I was sent another patent that was filed in 1960 that's called a solar simulator, which according to line 3 is meant to be an artificial sun that is supposed to be the approximate intensity of the sun. This theory states that instead of us being plugged into some matrix or simulation mentally, we are here physically with the matrix or simulation itself built all the way around our world and the real sun, stars, and moon above this simulation. There has been many videos of strange anomalies like the sky appearing to have two separate shades of blue in a completely straight line, the sky being blue and then appearing to turn off, people hearing very loud machine-like noises coming from the sky, and even a video of an apparent glitch in the matrix where if you look close enough, it appears to have the same hexagonal designs as the patents from earlier. Now this theory could definitely be a stretch, but leave a like and let me know what you think in the comments.
That clip literally made no sense. No one else was freaking out, but there was like literally a headless guy like right there.
You probably remember this video where a man is holding a supposed Egyptian stone, an ancient Egyptian stone that has superpowers. In this video you can see that his hand becomes transparent and the stone does not reflect on the mirror. There are dozens of videos like this one and no one knows if they're real or not. This video, for instance, something very similar happens. Check that out. Well, I've shown you guys these videos. In this video, for instance, you can actually see it a little bit better, right? Well, there's this other video circling the internet right now, and well, I'm not sure what's going on here. Check this out. Pay attention. Now look at what's going to happen. What is going on here, guys?
Reality glitches caught on camera.
Wake up, look at this shit. Oh, look at it, bro. Open your eyes and look at it.
Why are my eyes closed but I can see?
You can't see, your eyes are closed. Open them.
I'm opening them. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay, so here's my sink. It is a touch sensor thing.
Subscribe.
And here's some strawberries. Nothing happens when I touch the box, but when I touch a strawberry,
3, 2, 1.
Alright, so it's moving. But wait, when we start moving, it looks like it's still. And then you can tell it's moving again.
Hi, it's Kelly. I haven't been down here in a really long time, like a month or two. After what happened, I couldn't come down here. So, but my family's come down here a lot, and so has my brother, and they say they've seen nothing, and my brother, I made him look through every single room and everywhere, and there's nothing here, and I need to finish this video, so I'm doing it. So, this is a turning board, and I'm going to Mom, is that? Why is this door opening? Hello?
Did you see it? Something was in the closet, right? Let's look at that part again.
Let's see. Camera can see it now.
Why does your voice sound so weird?
I'd say if my voice sounds off to you, I'm Jet. So if there's anything specific you want or way you prefer me to speak, just let me know.
Are you sick?
And that's it. I'm just a digital assistant, so my voice may sound a bit different sometimes. Is there any way I can improve? Just let me know.
Are you possessed?
No worries. I'm just a computer program, so no possessions here. Yeah, with your I need. Let me know, I can make a judgment.
You sound like a demon.
The intention. Yeah, be as helpful and friendly as possible. If there's a specific way you'd like me to stay, anything I can do to make things better?
Yep.
Does let me know what you'd like to talk about. Any questions off?
I gotta shut the shit off.
That ChatGPT was 100% possessed.
I am just an AI prompt, and so are you, believe it or not. This may be confirmation we're all in a simulation, and trust me, buckle in. There's been theories for God knows how long. Are we living in a simulation? Or glitches in the Matrix caught on camera, blah blah blah, you've all heard it. And we all know AI is getting more and more advanced to the point it's basically indistinguishable now to real life. Google's new crazy system that came out the other day, people are freaking out about it all. These things coming out that are AI, it is not real. That has led people to talk about something called the prompt theory. These AI videos that literally look real. The people in these movies are almost acting like they know they're a prompt, but they feel like they're a real person. Of course, these are just prompts put in by someone like you or me, but it does raise the question. We've always thought about simulation theory. Maybe we are literally all just prompts. Buckle in, because this is where it gets wild. Many people out there, very big names as well, believe we are genuinely in a simulation, and it's been spoken about for years, like, no, we are. This guy is Professor James Gates, who's a theoretical physicist at a very high-ranking university in the States. A while ago, using string theory, he actually found physical binary code embedded in our reality. Like actual binary code, which is just numbers and this sort of stuff you only find on computer systems. There is no physical way to explain that, and he said that, and so have other people. Pair that with all the AI stuff that's coming out now and the developments, you've got yourself one hell of a simulation.
This video proves we live on a simulation.
There's a video game called No Man's Sky. This game was created by 17 college kids on one DVD, and it has over 80 quadrillion planets and unlimited numbers of life forms as they travel throughout this game. The game never ends, and life forms evolve and come. There is an universe on one DVD. Now think what will happen if you put AI on that software. Then all of those beings become conscious. Another game that exists is The Sims. The Sims are people that have jobs, go to work, have babies, go to parties, etc. Imagine if they put AI into The Sims. They're going to become conscious. Now what will happen when the players on these games become conscious from the AI and write their own programs inside the program and create another conscious universe, and another one, and another one? The universe could be many, many layers. What I'm saying is, we may not be in base reality, meaning that we could have been created by an ancestor of another universe, which creates the question, how many of these multiverses exist out there?
There's literally only raining on one side of the street, and then there's a rainbow. There's two.
So, what does the matrix look like? Let me show you. Now, despite what you might be thinking, these two circles are not equal. I repeat, these two circles are not equal. One is in fact larger than the other. What I need you to do is determine which one that is. So, please raise your hand if you believe the blue circle is larger than the red. Alright. Please raise your hand if you believe the red circle is larger than the blue. Alright, very good. Now, before I said anything about these two circles, what was your first instinct? Equal, right? because they look equal. And the reason why they look equal is because, in fact, they are equal. These two circles are identical. Yet I got just about every one of you to raise your hand and say that they're not. So what do we learn? That you can be manipulated like that to believe in something that goes against your natural instincts. Just imagine as a child, you're taught that the blue circle is larger than the red. If you say it enough times, you convince yourself that's the truth. If you're told the lie enough times, it becomes part of your reality. And if enough people are taught that lie, that the blue circle is larger than the red, well, now it becomes part of the culture. And if that culture then passes that misinformation along to the next generation, well, now it becomes tradition.
Yeah, he got me. You know, at first I was like, yo, they kind of look similar. Like, I don't think any is bigger than the other. But then the blue looked low-key, like, brighter. So I was like, it's probably a little bit bigger. Someone I just can't notice it. Turns out they're both the same. Let me know if you also picked blue.
This video of Peaks 100 shows that we are in the Matrix. Once you wake up, you start to peep the Matrix more and more. And certain shit just become apparent. Certain shit just starts showing itself more and more. And then you realize it's NPCs. Then you realize this whole shit is a simulation. Y'all, just take a look at this video.
Have you ever had the pizza here before? No English? Just rate it in Spanish. Uno, dos, tres. All the way up to cinco, cuate. I don't even know what the number 10 is. Look, there's a whole number DoorDash dude. He looks exactly like the other one, bruh. Cause this is crazy,
I'm
bruh.
thinking that's the same
bike,
dude.
Same moped, different dude. No English. No English? I said it's almost it's the same
either.
guy, but it's not the same guy, bruh. I swear, bro, we living in a matrix. This is a simulation. Y'all, another one's pulling up, bro.
3.
Looking the exact same as the first and second dude,
Same.
bro. In a simulation, my G. What you think? These are fucking NPCs out here, bro.
Do you believe that there are many, many universes, and that even if this one fades out, that there's other ones that are starting fresh right now, and there's an infinite number of them, and they're just constantly in this never-ending cycle of birth and death?
I think most likely, this is just about probability, there are many, many simulations. These simulations are, we might as well call them reality, or you could call them the multiverse.
These simulations, you believe, are created? Like someone has manufactured?
They're running on the substrate.
So...
that substrate is probably boring.
Boring?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
Well, when we create a simulation, like a game or a movie, it's a distillation of what's interesting about life. You know, like it can take a year to shoot an action movie, and then that's all distilled down into 2 or 3 hours. So let me tell you, if you see an action movie being filmed, it's boring, super boring. There's like lots of takes. Everything's in a green screen. Looks pretty goofy. Doesn't look cool. But once you add the CGI and have great editing, it's amazing. So I think most likely, if we're a simulation, it's really boring outside the simulation. Because why would you make a simulation that's boring? You make a simulation way more interesting than base reality.
That is if this right now is a simulation.
Yes.
I love the fact that Joe Rogan always just questions the hell out of Elon. Elon took like a small break after Joe Rogan asked him the question. He was just like, He did bring up some really good points, but I also think to myself, like, this might not just be like a fun simulation where everything's action-packed and like Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying? Like, this might be like a past simulator where they're showing us what might have happened in the 2000s or the 1990s or the, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
In 1994, this man was disappeared, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with what he was working on. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of Jacobo Grinberg, his insanely groundbreaking findings, and the mystery that surrounds his disappearance. So at the age of 12, Jacobo decided he wanted to study the human mind because he recently lost his mother to a brain tumor. He studied psychology and neuroscience and got a PhD from NYU. And that PhD focused on the relationship between the mind and the body. But here's the thing about Jacobo. He did what many scientists are afraid to do. He wanted to see if there was a link between science and shamanism, mysticism, these supernatural or spiritual topics. And being from Mexico, he focused primarily on Mexican shamanism. By combining his scientific background with his shamanic and mystical background, he was able to learn things that would challenge conventional science. Now, if you're not new to my content, you know I've been talking about this podcast, the telepathy tapes that every single person needs to listen to. It looks into and documents the telepathic and psychic abilities within nonverbal autistic individuals. Now, the coolest thing about this podcast is just because these people have these abilities does not mean they're the only ones with it. And often they say everybody has this, they've just forgotten. You want to know what Jacobo Greenberg found out? Yeah, I think you already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to be doing a much larger deep dive eventually about him, but let's just talk about some of the things that he found. 1, he worked really closely with a Mexican shaman named Pachita. He would witness and document her psychic surgeries that she would perform on people. He would describe her ability to literally manifest organs for people. She was able to perform these impossible surgeries. How? Well, Jacobo says she was able to access higher forms of reality, tap into higher energy fields, if you will, and use them to change this reality. Why? Because we're living in the Matrix. We're living in a holographic reality where we project reality. The individuals on the telepathy tapes talk about this. Jacobo talks about this. She is literally a computer programmer that was able to change the program. That change manifests a new reality. Jacobo proposed what he calls the synergy theory. The idea is simply that we live in a holographic informational matrix that is shaped by our conscious projections. And he suggests that people with high neuronal energy fields can manipulate this matrix. They're just advanced coders within the system. And when I say coder, please do not take this as we're living in a computer simulation. Simulation does not always mean a computer simulation, okay? Just using it as an analogy. Jacobo also performed many experiments regarding telepathy and other psychic abilities. He would look at things through meditation, look at two brains, and what they found is there was a synchronization that would happen where the sharing of information could happen. Through his experiments, he suggests that there's an interconnectedness of consciousness at all levels. He was working on some pretty amazing things, and in December 1994, just before his 48th birthday, he disappeared. There are so many conspiracies around why and how he disappeared. His wife claimed that he was traveling, but there's no flight records or any sightings whatsoever. Some people think he was silent. Some people think he was taken by the CIA. Some people think that he just pieced out on this reality and went to higher planes of consciousness. Like I said, we're going to dive so deep into his story and his findings, but it is really fascinating when you take a man of science who is a genius that applies that to look for the connections between spirituality, mysticism, shamanism, whatever you want to call it, and he explores the different levels of consciousness. Instead of just ignoring the things that we can't explain or calling it woo-woo or crazy, he pragmatically looked it in the face, trying to understand it. And unfortunately for us, he disappeared. But if you want a really interesting podcast, it's 10 episodes long, and it goes through these abilities, testing individuals who have these abilities. It is so fascinating. It is so fascinating. You need to go listen to it right now, the telepathy tapes. Love you guys.
I'll always respect people like that because it always just challenges the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's like, oh nah, science is always right, or whatever I believe is always right. But he tried to merge spirituality in a way with science and try to understand them both and see how they both can in a way synchronize. I respect people like that.
We switch timelines. That's why all the Mandela effects have been happening.
And do you think of when you see these pizza rolls? Yeah, I'll give you a minute. Now, if you're from my timeline, you would have said Tostinos. It's Totinos. Where did the S go? And you guys know Jordan sneakers, right? The logo always had shorts, but supposedly it's always been pants? How does that even make sense? Who plays ball in pants? And wasn't the Mississippi River the longest river in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Well, supposedly it's the Missouri River. And we all know the song, We Are the Champions. We all remember the ending of the song. He goes, we are the champions of the world. But that's not the ending lyrics. It just ends with, we are the champions.
Of the world, what?
By the way, comment down below, what's a better fruit? Watermelon or pineapple? Let's see who wins this war. And I know I am not tripping. Y'all cannot tell me that the Energizer Bunny has had its battery on its leg the whole time. I kid you not. It's always been on its back.
That We Are the Champions one is so controversial. I feel like I've heard the of the world from either a commercial or something. Like, why is that in everybody's head? Like, you can't tell me you don't remember it, them saying of the world. Like, I don't remember where I heard it from, but it's definitely from somewhere, like, I swear to God. But there actually are some people that don't believe in a simulation, so let's see what he has to say about it.
The verdict is in. We don't live in a simulation. Now, while the Elon fanboys are racing to the comments, the rest of us can get on with talking about physics. Just a few weeks ago, astrophysicist Franco Vazza released this paper discussing constraints on the hypothesis that our universe is a simulation. To cut a long story short, it's essentially impossible to simulate a universe like ours. But you came for the physics, not just the result, so let me tell you how he did it. The idea is simple. How much energy does it take to simulate a region of spacetime? According to his calculations, simulating a region of space down to the Planck scale requires an amount of information, in bits, proportional to the energy contained in that region times its radius per time step. And the amount of energy required to flip a bit is proportional to the working temperature of the computer. Working the numbers, if you wanted to do a full fidelity simulation of the entire observable universe, the computations needed for a single time step would take 30 orders of magnitude more energy than is available in the entire observable universe. Okay, but what if the simulators are only simulating Earth with that level of precision and then a fake sky? Then you would only need a Jupiter-sized black hole feeding it the equivalent of the energy required to blow up 10 million galaxies for each time step. Can we make it even easier? Sure. Let's just lower the resolution down to the lowest resolution that wouldn't be detectable by state-of-the-art physics experiments, which is about 12 orders of magnitude lower than the Planck scale. Then the energy levels are, finally, workable. But even with a black hole, which is the fastest possible computer, there's a trade-off. Less energy consumption means slower speed, even if the computer could handle the enormous amount of data. In principle, the minimum energy required would be about 2 minutes worth of the sun's output per time step. But then, the best case scenario is that 1 second of time in the simulated universe would take 10 million years of compute time to simulate. On the other hand, you can speed it up to make the simulation time match the computing time, but that would mean you'd be burning an entire observable universe worth of energy every few hours, all being shoved into a black hole a nanometer across. All in all, even the most bare-bones simulation would be impossible. And this isn't a technological problem that can be solved with better engineers, but a physics problem imposed by the nature of the universe itself. But Blitz, I hear you saying, how do you know our universe is like the one doing the simulating? And to that, I answer, we don't. But the only motivation for even thinking we're in a simulation is the claim that one day, it may be possible for us to simulate a universe like our own. But this analysis shows that no, it will never be possible, regardless of technological advances, for us to simulate even a rudimentary Earth. So if we have no motivation to think we could ever simulate a universe, why would we think we're in one, aside from religious dogma? And no, quantum computers don't change any of the numbers here.
Yeah, I 100% get what he's saying, but I feel like he's looking at it too logical. Like, yes, I understand it from a logical point of view in our 3D dimension, in our plane of existence. But when you step out of our plane of existence, we really don't know what type of technology or what type of power or what type of energy these people really have, or whatever potentially is controlling the simulation has. I mean, I'm 50-50 with the simulation theory. Like, I'm pretty sure that there is a chance, but I'm also not really sure if there really is. But at the same time, I feel like if we were in one, it wouldn't be on our 3D power energy scale. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care if you're a conspiracy theorist or not, watch this video to the end. I come across this movie, it's on Amazon Prime, it's called Portals. And I like scientific-y stuff, so I'm like, okay, cool, let me watch this movie. About 2 minutes in, I don't know how to put a picture on the screen, I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna insert I guess I'll insert a picture, I don't know. I'm gonna get in the video somehow of what came up on the screen when I clicked it. So that picture says August 5th, 2020. I don't remember what the writing at the bottom said, but I was just like, August 5th, today's August 5th. This is coincidence. What did it say? Something about glitches in software and unexplainable software glitches. And this movie's about black holes and portals per the title. So I was just like, this is weird. So I'm watching the movie and all of a sudden it just cuts off. It just stops. And I'm going to look at the timestamp because I took videos because I was confused. I was like, why is the movie just stopping? All the power in the house cut out. And I'm just sitting here like, so I jump up because I have to document this. I go look at the stove and the microwave. when the time starts blinking when the power goes off and it just comes back on, it was blinking like a power outage. It was blinking, and I'm gonna insert that clip. The stove in the clip had rebooted itself already because that one's quick, but the microwave was still blinking. And then I look around, it's a light on upstairs. Now, mind you, this light does turn on by itself, but it's on, and I know that's how I know it was a power outage. The refrigerator stopped. I was washing all the clothes, that stopped. I'm just sitting here like, this really. This cannot be happening. This is just too coincidental. So I go and check outside. It's not raining. It's sunny as all get out. It's just a beautiful day. And I'm like, why would the power randomly stop? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know if anyone else's power stopped, but ours did. And that's what I remembered. It said August 5th, 2020. I think it said 2:47. I don't think it happened at 2:47. I think it happened around 2:55 or something. But PM, how much of a coincidence is that? I didn't even notice I have food on my mouth, around my mouth. But that's how quick I had to jump up and take this video, because I'm like, I don't think anything is a coincidence. The date matched up. The time was 5 to 10 minutes off. What they were talking about in the movie actually just happened.
I'm going to show you guys video evidence of the Mandela effect. But what is the Mandela effect? It's a very strange phenomenon where a large group of people remember a past event very differently from what is believed to be today. For instance, Nelson Mandela, he died in 2013, but a lot of people remember him dying in the 1980s. The same thing with Looney Tunes, and the same thing with the Monopoly guy, and the list goes on. But how do we explain such a thing? A lot of people believe that we're not living in the same alternate reality that we were in 10, 20, 30 years ago. But what happened? Why? And when? And why? Is there any video evidence of such a thing? An internet account by the name of the Thought Police has been recording strange videos of this very old phone. And a lot of people believe that this old phone is actually capable of recording glimpses of this alternate reality that we do not live in anymore. Here's one, for instance. I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos, starting with this one from Britney Spears. A lot of people remember her using a plaid skirt in this video clip, but she's not using a plaid skirt anymore. Here he goes with the phone camera, a plaid skirt. She never used the plaid skirt. In this video clip, for instance, a lot of people remember Britney Spears using a microphone. Here he goes with the camera, the microphone. But she never did use a microphone. What is going on? The same thing with the laughing cow cheese. See how he passes his finger in front of the camera to prove this is not CGI. This is not a camera trickery. You see? Check that out. What is going on here? The same thing with the Monopoly guy. He's using a monocle. I remember him using a monocle, but he never did. If you search for Google, if you Google search him, the Monopoly guy, it says that he never used the monocle. What is going on?
Good news, we might not actually be living in a simulation. The basis of simulation theory is this. You have a real universe, the base reality, where civilization evolves and gets really smart. So smart that they start using computers to program simulated worlds, like video games. As technology progresses, these worlds get so real that they become indistinguishable from reality. These simulated worlds also come with people, in the form of AI, who don't know that they don't actually exist. And so these people also evolve and develop computers to create their own simulated worlds within their simulated world. Then this new simulated world also creates their own simulation. Then they create a world, then they create a world, and this pattern repeats essentially forever. So we have the real world, the base reality, all the in-between worlds that can create their own simulated worlds, and then the last world in the chain that's still working on it. You still with me? Classic simulation theory states the chances that we are the base reality is 1 over potentially infinity, since this pattern repeats forever, which is 0%, making a 100% chance that our world is simulated, or 99.9999, whatever you want to call it. But here's what changes everything. We currently don't know how to make a one-to-one replica of reality as a simulated world like all those in-between worlds know how to do, which means we're either the last world in the chain who hasn't figured it out yet, or we're the first world, the base reality, and we're still working on setting off this chain reaction. That's 1 out of 2. 50% chance we're in a simulation and 50% chance we're in the real world. The only problem with this, it's a catch-22. Sure, we don't know how to make perfect simulations of reality yet, so we're 50-50 as it stands. But as soon as we create that first indistinguishable from reality simulation, we're right back to where we started. And so we can either be the single base reality, or one in the infinite chain of simulated realities, bringing us right back to almost guaranteed to living in a simulation once the first perfect simulation is made. And these right here are video game graphics, so you be the judge if we're getting there or not.
You know, at first I was like, dude, whoever's driving that car is going way too fast. Like, he might die. But then I was thinking to myself, that might actually be a video game. But yeah, it's actually crazy to think that there's actually a lot of people that potentially think that they would know if they were in a simulation. I feel like a lot of the time that would take the fun out of it. Like, let's say this really was a simulation, right? Like, let's be metaphorical for a sense. Let's be imaginative for a second, right? Let's say this really was a simulation. The fun of the simulation would be taken out if we knew it was a simulation. So obviously they wouldn't even tell us, whoever they is. A lot of you guys in my last video thought I cut my hair. My hair has literally just been in a bun the whole time. Like, not really a bun, but like my hair's just been up. Like, I didn't cut my hair.
Let's talk about one of the most cursed videos out on the internet right now, the Peggy doll video. Now, before I show you the cursed video, I need to give you a warning because apparently 80 people felt sick after watching this video. Specifically, they had chest pains, nausea, and crippling headaches. Just letting you know, just in case. Also, apparently a British woman got a heart attack after watching this video. Peggy is a doll that is said to be possessed by an English woman that was born in 1946, passed from a chest-related condition. But Peggy started going absolutely viral in 2015 because allegedly this video caused people to get sick, to get anxiety attacks. Some even said that their computer screens froze after playing this video. Apparently, Peggy can also give you nightmares. So listen, if you're anxious, maybe don't watch this video. I'm just gonna show you the video. Here it is. Do you feel different? Are you anxious? Do you have a headache? Or are you suffering from a placebo effect, you think? Anyways, yeah, there's the video. I'm gonna be honest, I believe that things can be haunted. But watching this video, I feel okay right now. I'll tell you if I have nightmares. But yeah, do you guys think this video is truly haunted? Or do you think a bunch of people are just suffering from the placebo effect? I don't know about that though, because if there was a woman that had a heart attack after watching this, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know, let me know.
Definitely would say it's more of a placebo effect.
Oh, Lily Bell. Oh, Lily Bell. This is not gonna suck out.
Top 5 scariest things caught on camera in abandoned tunnels. This is all done in one part, so make sure to follow because we don't do part 2s here. Number 5. A group of explorers are searching through an abandoned tunnel built by the Germans in World War II. The unique thing with this tunnel is that the Germans were hiding this from the public. Even to this day, it's unknown what happened in these tunnels, but these brave explorers captured something shocking that I think you should take a look. Number 4. 3 friends begin to search what looks like an abandoned train tunnel. They soon realize that the tunnel is a lot longer than what it appeared to be, and they begin to panic. They start jogging and see lights at the end of the tunnel. They begin to get excited because they think they found the end, when suddenly this happens.
We're probably barely halfway. What if a train started coming right now? It's a train! I'm gonna get on the side.
Number 3. A Russian YouTuber wanted to explore tunnels and found a tunnel so small that he actually had to take off his backpack. He starts to crawl within these tunnels and suddenly his camera and light begins to act up. He then begins to exit the tunnel, but not before he captures this. Number 2. 3 guys are exploring a haunted insane asylum abandoned tunnel. The tunnel is based in Ontario, Canada, but they begin to panic because they lose their friend named Matt. They start lurking around dark corners trying to find their friend when suddenly they find this. Before we get to number 1, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Austin Vro. I just stayed in the most haunted hotel in America, and I think you should check it out for yourself because what we captured is insane. I'm gonna be posting the video next week, so make sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss it. Number 1. A Ukrainian man is exploring the woods when he finds an abandoned bridge. He starts walking alongside the bridge when he finds a sewer that also looks abandoned. He quickly pulls out his phone and starts putting his phone down in the sewer. This is what he captured.
These people were urban exploring an abandoned building when they found these terrifying photos all over the place. I'm gonna roll the clip right now.
Вроде бы как. Ну, вообще всего такого, как бы, фотографий таких. Пипец.
What the f? You hear that? Get out of here! Go! Run! Let's go. Turn off your lights. Kobe's lost. He's way up there. There's lights. It's up there, and he literally just said, get down. Actually. That are not Kobe. Did you miss it? Yeah, literally, right there. That's why I think they just went in, so we got a buggy with them.
There was 3 people. Did you see how close they got?
They were walking right next to you. Sam and Nick were on one side, and Colby went ahead. Were they security or were they just people?
It was just 3. It was 2 girls and 1 guy. It was just people.
Okay, it was just people. So it should be good. Helicopter light! Yo, put your lights down.
There's a helicopter and it has searchlights.
Let's see. I don't know if it's looking for us, but legit. That literally had a searchlight. Why would it have a searchlight? Run. Guys. Colby!
The road. If we just jog the road, you want to make it back?
So you want to just run the road right now?
That's what I'm thinking. How are we going to find our way back in the dark forest?
Okay.
Let's do it while there's noise.
Yeah. Somebody is screaming.
Scream, bloody murder.
Let's get out of here faster. Come on, guys.
How is that? Dude, that scares them. Whoa. Guys, what the do you hear that? Yeah. Get out of here. Go. Guys, go. Run. Go. Get out of here. Back pocket. Grab my SD card. Cops right behind us, guys. There was a screaming lady. Literally the most scared I've ever been. She literally sounded like she was crying. As soon as we get out of here, we need to call the cops. She was in trouble. Cop literally just sped off in the other direction because he saw someone. All right. So that was our chance. Well, let's get across the street and call Uber right there. My God.
Fact did actually encounter a real murder. I remember hearing so many stories about these YouTubers, which was them, Sam and Kobe, that went into the woods and then they heard like some woman screaming, and it was actually a woman getting murdered. That's crazy.
That's why you always lock your doors. Will from Will Whereabouts was camping in the middle of the woods in Box Hill, UK.
I think this will do for tonight's stealth camping. Freezing cold! That'll be a good way just to get some heat in here in the mornings and in the evenings when it really does start to drop. I've decided to put my gas portable stove just sitting on the boxes which it goes in, because I'm going to spark it up and get a bit of nice warm air to come through.
When suddenly, late at night, he's awoken by what sounds like human voices.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight.
Will explains he was all alone in that site, so what exactly made those sounds?
Dude, I don't think you're gonna get sleep at all.
This video still bothers me because I could never find a source. I remember seeing it on some forum over a year ago, posted with zero context, but it still creeps me out to this day. But what do you think it is?
Creepy videos that will keep you up at night.
What's going on here? No, it's a fire!
Here. And yes, my fan is on. That's why you see it blowing. But what the hell? Is that? Why is it wrinkling like that? It's a nice bush. Now that looked like a face.
That time my mom received a phone call from my deceased uncle. Or was something pretending to be him. My mom and aunt were on the phone when this voice took over the call.
Like screaming or something in this tunnel. I'm gonna go check it out.
the hell? Hello? What the fuck was that?
What are you? What are you doing in my house? What are you? No, it's a furry!
Cumpleaños feliz, te deseamos a ti.
Time to go inside. We out here doing gang shit.
In the moonlight, my honey, But tonight you belong to me, just a little old me.
You feel a tightness in your chest. You can't move your arms and legs. You begin to panic.
Like, I'm personally not scared or like weird about animatronics, but it's always like creepy to me to see them malfunction. I think it's because of the human features with like the robotic aesthetic that just makes it look creepy sometimes.
Happy birthday, dear Bricky. No. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. Make a wish. Make a wish. And many more. Right. Almost. Whoa. Alright, Jackie. I don't want to know the details. All right, here, honey. A girl's got to have a present. This is from me. Yeah. Did you know? Should we cut the cake? Yeah. Jackie, press its pause.
Hey, kiddo. Hope you're doing well. I'm feeling much better now, so whenever you can.
Please tell me so.
Hey, kiddo. Hope you're doing well. I'm feeling much better now, so whenever you can, just come visit me, okay? Okay?
Shut up. No way. That has not worked. That has not worked.
Mais je pense que le professeur ne va pas venir aujourd'hui. Donc je retourne à la maison.
A woman named Lexi woke up from a nightmare, only to find out followed her into reality.
I don't know if you guys can know, I've never had a dream like this before. And then what happened after is just fucking, I'm about to fucking puke. So anyways, we were laughing, ha ha ha, everything's fine. I got good vibes, and all of a sudden, they all look at me and they're just lifeless. Like they're like, there's like at least like 30 people in the room, okay? And they all look at me and they're like this. And I got the most sick feeling. And all of a sudden, for some reason, I was wearing this cross in my dream. I go like this, and I start to grip my cross. And I'm just like, and then the person that I was talking to, he goes, "Why are you doing that?" And he was just like, "Why are you scared?" And then this is where I knew it was demonic. Because just basically saying that God doesn't exist. He was like, "What do you think he's gonna do for you? Like, you think God even exists? You think he's gonna," and just, and then it was gonna tell me at the end that God didn't exist. And I just fucking, I've never like been able to grip this cross in my dream. And I just backed up. And then I started praying to God. And then I felt myself being lifted up. Like, lifted. Everything just disappeared. It happened right after, and then I fucking woke up. So anyways, I was like, oh my God. Like, I've never had such a spiritual dream like that. And I went in the kitchen because I was so fucking terrified, and I just said, I rebuke anything in the name of Jesus that is not meant to be in this house. I rebuke anything. Right after I said that, I heard 3 knocks on my front door, and I looked outside, and nobody was fucking there. And it was late, okay? It was fucking late. And so after that, I was like, oh my fucking God. Like, whatever I casted out of my house was like, it got casted out. And like,
I should be out and about. Fuck on my keys, bro. What the fuck is that?
What is that? What is that, puppy? What is that? What the fuck?
oh my God, no, fuck that.
Hi guys, good morning. What? Okay, doesn't let me record. What? Doesn't let me record. No, it didn't.
Dude, I don't know what type of glitch in the matrix or sorcery that guy was working with, but I don't know how the hell he did that.
A scary video of a teenager who spent the night at Michael Jackson's home has resurfaced. In 1999, the pop king, Michael Jackson, had transformed his vast ranch into a veritable private amusement park named Neverland. It featured rides, a cinema, a zoo, and luxurious bedrooms. A magical place, especially for children, whom Michael loved to invite for a dream stay. But this dream could have turned into a nightmare. Will, a teenager who stayed there one night, filmed something terrifying. A now viral video shows what he experienced. If you are sensitive, do not watch the ending. Woken up in the middle of the night, Will spots a strange, motionless figure staring intensely at him and whispering chilling words. Frozen in panic, he dares not move, fearing that this thing might attack him. When he finally screams for help, he experiences the most terrifying moment of his life. The rest of this video is hard to watch.
David has responded, not with words, but with his actions, because last night David was playing on Fortnite on the casual reload 0 build mode, and out of the entire game session, he had only one victory royale. He's also been seen unfollowing large creators who speak out against him. For example, Lacey from FaZe said David was on his viewers list on the stream, and then he unfollowed him.
David was in the viewer list on my stream, and he just unfollowed me on Twitch. Is that, like, that's fucking creepy, no?
He's also been seen following Celeste Rebez's brother off and on again. He's turned off his comments on all of his social media platforms, and he's apparently going back through his old reposts on TikTok and taking down the suspicious ones. If you didn't know, David has a bunch of weird-ass reposts, but the most concerning one was where he cuts up chicken and compares that to cutting up a girlfriend. But what's interesting about him playing Fortnite is it's speculated from David's Discord server that him and Celeste Rebez met through Fortnite around 2021, which is leading me to speculate he might be deleting messages from him and Celeste because he's definitely not getting any crowds on Fortnite.
My sister sent me this scary video. She had gone to sleep at our grandfather's house. He passed away, but during the night, she recorded something that looked like him waving at her through the door of his old room. As soon as I saw the video, I rushed to the farmhouse. When I got there, she was no longer in the house. It was raining heavily, and unfortunately, we ended up trapped inside after a tree fell in front of the gate. We started to panic, not knowing what to do. The house is really far from the city. We called the fire department, but because of the strong rain, they said they could only remove the tree the next morning. And that's when everything started to get worse. That night, we heard my sister screaming from downstairs. When we got there, I couldn't believe what I saw. If you guys want part 2 with the rest of the story, leave a lot of comments and I'll post it.
So this MMA fighter is now in prison for life. Now the guy, he calls himself War Machine, and War Machine's around 25 years old when this story starts, and like I said, he's an MMA fighter. And one day in 2007, he gets his big break when he's cast on season 6 of The Ultimate Fighter, which is like a competition reality TV show for MMA fighters who are trying to fight in the UFC. And while he's on the show, I guess War Machine kind of gets a reputation for being a little bit mentally unstable. And so anyway, eventually the season of the show ends and he gets a contract with the UFC. But unfortunately for him, his contract with the UFC is terminated after only one fight. And while War Machine isn't going to give up, unfortunately his reputation for being mentally unstable turns out to be true. And as the years go by, his behavior gets worse and worse. Now he starts taking steroids and taking stimulants, and it's making him roid rage and act out. And he gets arrested for domestic violence. He gets arrested multiple times for bar fights. Here's one of his mug shots. And while he's in and out of jail, he continues to have moderate success as an MMA fighter. His record is actually 14 wins and 5 losses, which, I mean, that's better than I could do. But this moderate success isn't quite enough. He's just not making enough money anymore, and he really needs to pay his bills. So in 2009, he's around 28 years old at this point, he starts making adult content. You know, like adult films. In fact, he makes a lot of adult films. 23 to be exact, I counted. And so a few years later, in 2013, he starts dating fellow adult film star Christy Mack. Here's a picture of him and Christy together. And here's another one. Now, he seems to be making enough to pay his bills at this point, but his adult film career and his new relationship do nothing to chill him out. He still seems mentally unstable, and he gets set off by the slightest thing. Plus, he's active on social media now, so he's like posting videos about altercations he gets into. Like here he's talking about how he got into it with a clerk at 7-Eleven, something involving a Slurpee.
Oh, I want to smash the fucking motherfucker. So I dumped my fucking Slurpee on the floor so those fucking dumb motherfuckers could clean it up. Why can't I just get a fucking Slurpee? Why that motherfuckers gotta harass me and tell me to take out my fucking hoodie? How is that even a fucking rule? How is that even illegal?
Another time he got into it with a guy who works at the gym.
And I just squared up with him. I said, motherfucker. I said, get the fuck out of my fucking face right now. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of my face. Don't talk to me again in your fucking life. I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah, bro is posting all kinds of crazy stuff on social media as he seems to be going more and more off the rails. Now, during this time, he's still dating Christy, the adult film star, and one would think that he would be comfortable with her profession or at least accepting of it since they've been dating a while. But one day, suddenly, he's not. He gets mad that she's doing the job she does. You know, the job she was doing when they first met. The thing he was doing when they first met. And so War Machine, he starts getting violent with her. Often. Like, he beats her up all the time, and he'll like take her phone away to stop her from calling her mom for help. And this crazy relationship goes on for over a year until I guess they break up. But from what I can tell, it seems like they've split up more than once. But anyway, they break up, and War Machine finally moves out of her house in Las Vegas, and he moves back to San Diego where he lived before. However, even after moving out, he keeps the key to her house. I guess he still stays the night there sometimes? I don't know. This all seems very messy. But anyway, so Christy starts moving on, and she starts hanging out with this other guy. His name's Corey. And so now it finally seems like she and War Machine can be over for good. And War Machine, he can move on with his life, and he can find someone else. Until War Machine does not, in fact, move on. In fact, this whole situation gets much worse, because one night he decides to surprise Christy by driving to her house in the middle of the night. And so he pulls up, and he uses his key to get in. And he sneaks in quietly, and he creeps into her bedroom. And suddenly, boom, the dogs start barking when they hear him enter the bedroom. And this wakes Christy up, and Corey is there too. And at the same time, War Machine turns on the light, and he finds Christy in the bed with Corey. And he is pissed. And so, bam, he jumps on Corey, and pow, pow, he starts punching him in the face. And Christy's screaming at him to stop, and she grabs her phone and she calls 911, and then she hides the phone, leaving the line open so that the 911 operator can hear what's going on. While War Machine, the trained MMA fighter, is beating up Corey, the guy who was just like asleep. And so this beating is brutal. And he gets Corey in a chokehold and he nearly knocks him out, and he just keeps on punching him. 10 minutes later, War Machine is finally done kicking his ass, and he tells him to get lost. And if he tells anyone about this, that he and his friends will come find him and they'll unalive him. And so Corey leaves. But now Christy's there alone with War Machine. And so boom, he grabs her and he starts punching her. And she's getting hit so hard that she's going in and out of consciousness. And she ends up on the bathroom floor. While War Machine, somehow he finds her phone and he starts going through her Instagram and her Twitter accounts. And anytime he sees something he doesn't like, pow, he hits her. Oh, but then it gets really bad. Because that is when he tries to SA her, but he can't because he can't perform. And so instead, he gets a dull kitchen knife and he stabs her. And he's also texting people from her phone and canceling all her plans, canceling her plans from her calendar for the following days so that no one will worry about where she is. Oh, but he's still not done, because then he leaves Christy in the bedroom and he goes to the kitchen to get another, even sharper knife to unalive her with. But him leaving the room gives her an opening, and this is her only chance to escape. And so boom, she runs. And she runs out the back door and into the backyard, and she jumps the fence and she starts banging on her neighbor's door. And people aren't hearing her knock, so she runs from house to house, knocking on doors until finally a neighbor answers. And ultimately, Christy gets taken to the hospital. He had been beating her up for about 2 hours. And of course, War Machine knows he's screwed. And so he goes on the run and he hides while police, they're looking for him. And while he's hiding out, he's like publicly tweeting at her. I love you and I hope you're okay. I came home early to surprise you and help you set up for your convention. I can't believe what I found. I can't believe what happened. All I wanted was to surprise you and help and do something nice. Now this, I'm so heartbroken in all ways. I will always love you. Anyway, it's because of those tweets, police are able to trace the IP location of his cell phone. And after about 10 days on the run, police finally find him at a hotel in Simi Valley, California, where he was fighting with yet another woman. And so, bam, they arrest him. Here's his mugshot. And he goes to trial, and he's found guilty, and he gets sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, that dude definitely had some problems because he literally had a girl on the side. Then he started arguing with another girl. Yeah, I don't know, dude. End of the day, man, this is why I just gonna be telling y'all, dude. Just focus on yourself, do what you gotta do, stay out the way, and you're good. You're all good. That's it. That's literally all it is.
Whatever this is completely natural, and science still has no explanation for it. Oh dude, that's just CGI. Well, joke's on you, cause it's real. This glowing orb of plasma or electricity or something that slowly hovers around and can cause some pretty devastating effects. It's called ball lightning, or centella globular, and it was first formally documented in 1195 AD, said to be a very rare natural weather phenomenon, much like regular lightning, but it sticks around for a lot longer than your classic split-second strike, drifting and hovering for up to a minute before disappearing, often with a bang. With many people reporting, it can even go through walls. It's so rare that for centuries, scientists thought it was fake, just an urban legend people made up since video evidence didn't exist yet, so anyone who claimed to have seen it couldn't prove it. Many pilots insisted to have witnessed it mid-flight, and even Nikola Tesla himself experienced it, was so intrigued that he even reported recreating his own ball lightning in a lab in 1904. Is there anything this guy didn't do? Now, to be fair, some videos of this online are just visual effects, CGI, like this one right here, but the phenomena itself is very real, and we just have no idea what they are. Theories range from plasma created by electrical discharges, a rare type of lightning, or specific chemical reactions caused by lightning striking the ground, possibly even alien technology, or interdimensional beings interacting with our reality, which, if you ask me, is exactly what they are, in my oh-so-professional opinion.
سند ليش قاعد هيك؟ ما سند بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سند سند بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله مين هو؟ اسمها السند اسمها السند سند كيف انت هيك يا سند؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جهتك بالله رجعوا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جهتك بالله بقول لك
هذا الحجر هذا الحجر هذا الحجر خطير جدا.
What the fuck? I'm scared now.
¿Qué quiere?
¿Quieres?
No.
Who's making all that noise? Hello? Who are you?
Guys, I lost my dog. I don't know where he is, bro. I'm in the middle of nowhere right now.
So you're in this drug-fueled state and you write about, you know, you're having sex with lots of women, and then you say you flip the menu.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, there's a lot of stuff on the other side that I never looked at. And I was like, well, hold on now. And I'm like, well, sure. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a deeply personal question, but, you know,
No, it's
you're
fine.
talking about having sex with men.
Sure. Yeah.
Why did you want to share that?
I just wanted to feel what it would be like to just expose that. Not expose that, but share that. And it's fine. But it was also to take the bullets out of some guns that have still been pointed in my direction, you know,
Right.
and just like say, you no longer have any control over me with you know, your extortion demands and stuff like that. Because
so there are people from your past who are still holding that over you.
Yeah, and so that was a part. That's not what led the charge. That's more of an off-label benefit to making that decision.
That video was very, very interesting. Yo, that's wild. I did not know Charlie Sheen was like that. I mean, he said that people were after him, so he just did it. He just let it out. He was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna admit it.
It's my hands. Yo, there's somebody watching you on the back. Where? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Things you can never unsee. This is Australia, but now you can't unsee that it's a cat dog, and the cat's eating food. You've seen the Wendy's logo a million times. There's a secret message. It says Mom. You ever noticed there's a bear hidden in the mountains on the Toblerone boxes? Here it is outlined in case you didn't see it. Bet you've seen the KFC logo a million times. You can never unsee that it looks like he's got little tiny arms and legs. This is an anteater. It's not a panda bear. If we zoom in, we can see this is just a leg. That's an anteater. Here's the logo for CBS. But now you can't unsee that it's Pac-Man eating things. Here's the strong muscle emoji. But now you can't unsee that it's a sloth. You've seen the logo for Major League Baseball, and now you can never unsee this. Follow for more.
Sources described the injuries as mild and said that Holland will take several days off from filming. NBC News has reached out to his publicist, but we have yet to hear back.
Oh yeah, there was a recent incident. Apparently Tom Holland, the guy that plays Spider-Man, he fell and actually got a concussion and injured himself on set. Yo, someone in this video I saw earlier was like, yo, that's good because that means the Spider-Mans are gonna be good finally. I'm just like, dude.
These are the top 5 scariest videos I found online. I bet you can't make it to the end of this video because the last one is wild. Number 5, possessed chef. This man looked to be working his normal job in the kitchen, cooking, making food, and then suddenly he starts acting bizarre, as if he's possessed. As you can see, he kind of goes into like a zombie-like state, standing over hot boiling grease and seems to be wobbling. Yeah, I'm not showing the rest of that. But yeah, he did what you think he did. Anyone ordered a fried facial? If there's one way to get rid of pimples, that is not it. Before we get to the next one, can you heart this video for me? I work hard on these videos, and I love you. Number 4, a woman named Carrie says she started experiencing weird activities in her home. She would hear strange noises, and her stuff would even be moved. So she decided to get a security camera for when she's not home. One day she got an alert on her phone, and this is what she caught. A dark figure can be seen approaching the person sleeping on the bed. Moments later, it quickly darts to the left, just before the lights come on. Look, if a ghost is gonna be in my house, at least pay rent. Please. That's the least you can do. I got bills. It just tastes like, your mama's booty. All honesty, I'm sorry for eating in front of your face. Just because I made you suffer, your fifth at has to buy you food for the rest of this week. Let me know who it is so I can tell them to buy you food because I said so. Number 3, a man looks out of his window and sees something scary flying at him. In my opinion, it's a witch, but what do you guys think? So check this out. A team of investigators go to investigate a place called the Cage that is located in the UK. Now, for over 400 years, it was a prison that held women who were accused of witchcraft. Now, they started to conduct a seance in the basement. And look what happens to one of the team members named Debbie's face. Her smile elongates, eyes turn black, and then it just goes back to normal. Now, Debbie recalls this never even happening. But during that time, she felt itching and burning down the back of her neck. After this, for weeks, she could not sleep and was having terrible nightmares. Y'all better stop messing with them demons. Stay home. Start a family. Stop this. Stop it. A man is upstairs in the gym in the middle of the day. Starting his workout, he's stretching, and then he sees a medicine ball move suddenly. Now, I guess he got a little weirded out of this because he was like, okay, I'm out. I don't know what moved that ball, but I'm out. That's when all of a sudden his foot gets dragged up from underneath him by what seems to be some sort of invisible entity. He darts downstairs to the bottom gym and tells security and begs them to let him see the footage. Now, I don't know how you fake something like this, because it looks legit to me. Should I do a part 2?
I feel like that last one was a little bit convincing. Like, could you imagine?
And just like that, after barely a week, Jimmy Kimmel is back. Disney announced last night that Kimmel's show will return on Tuesday, so why the change of heart? Well, some are saying it was the backlash that won, the boycott. The 400 artists and celebrities who signed an open letter condemning government threats to freedom of speech. But some are saying Jimmy is back because the government was never involved. Piers Morgan said, along with a picture of Disney's statement, so Kimmel wasn't cancelled by Trump or the FCC after all, but temporarily suspended by his employer because they thought that what he said was ill-timed and insensitive. But regardless, even though Disney have brought back Jimmy Kimmel, one, we don't know if Jimmy Kimmel wants to be back, and secondly, not all of ABC's affiliate stations will actually be airing it. Some, like Sinclair for example, which is one of the country's largest owners of local TV stations, will not be airing Jimmy Kimmel Live and rather putting news programming in that time slot instead. So the question is, what do you think? Did the boycotts and backlash just deliver a big win for free speech? Or was this never about free speech in the first place?
This is probably one of the scariest videos I've seen in a long time. So this is Noah. He was on a camping trip one night, and while he was on his way back from said camping trip, he decided to pull off the side of the road and catch some Z's. What ends up happening that night is something so chilling, something so horrifying that you guys probably need headphones for it.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is. And there's someone walking around my truck right now. If you can hear that, it's pretty loud. He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already. He's touching my truck. we'll see. He's literally peeking through the door right now. I've never been this scared ever. So, the current time is 2:30 in the morning right now. He's still walking around my truck. I'm gonna try to see if I can flash my light to get him scared. So he runs away. There he is. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now, from what I understand, the individual knocking on his doors and windows was only there for about an hour and a half, or something like that. But he did finally leave, and Noah was able to get out of there safe and sound.
Dude, an hour and a half? What are you doing at someone's truck just roaming it for an hour? That makes literally no sense. Like, you're wasting your time.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the most disturbing things caught on night cameras. Now on Reddit, users will share their recordings of their night camera, capturing what they think is either paranormal activity or some other unusual occurrence. And today we're going to be taking a look at these, and at the end we're going to be determining which ones are real or fake. The one at the very end is the scariest. I'm going to be looking at my screen because I'm going to be reacting to this video live with you guys. Okay, weird object knocks out a man. So this happened a few days ago in my hometown in Colombia. A real fast and strange object knocked a man down to the floor through the stairs. He had 24 stitches at the hospital. All right, let's take a look at this. Looks like he's going upstairs somewhere. Like this looks like the front yard, maybe the backyard or something. Front yard. Okay, where'd you go? I don't see any orbs or anything. Oh, what just happened? Oh my god, are those the neighbors that just heard him fall? Let's take another look at that. If we run this back, watch this orb in slow motion. I mean, this orb, bam. I mean, this guy is knocked out cold. He fell down from those concrete steps, and it looks like he almost hit his head on the car. I mean, Jesus. What do the comments say about this? It was just something tied to the door to hold it open. If you watch, the door starts to close right before it happened. Was this the door? Yeah, I have no idea. What do you guys think about that one? Okay, this next one is titled, I am on a trip and just saw this on our camera, and I am slightly freaked out. Some context, we went on a cruise and set up a camera to watch our cats while we were away. We were just watching a few recordings and saw this happen to our pillows, and we have a third cat, but we don't think this was her. What are your thoughts here? All right, let's take a look at this video. Okay, so we got some sweet kittens playing on the bed. Looking at, okay, the pillow's moving. Bruh. Yeah, no way. No way. Nope. Dude, I'm sorry, but these people setting up these night cameras in front of their bed are psychotic. If I'm on a cruise and my cats are on a bed and I just saw my own pillow get flipped over from nothing, I am going to get off of that cruise ship and go home. There's no way I'm leaving my cats there. Okay, this one is my personal favorite. This one is titled Ghost Child Caught on Camera. A little backstory. My husband's best friend used to live in the house in the video. He caught some crazy orb ring camera videos and always felt something was in the house. He ended up getting a divorce and sold the house. A couple months ago, after the new owners moved in, an old neighbor got a hold of my husband's friend and told him that the new owners wanted to know if he had ever had any paranormal activity when he lived there. They sent him this video they had caught in their living room, and he sent them his orb videos. The family was not home when this video was captured. The family does have children, but again, no one was home. The couple who captured this video are getting a divorce, and the house is back on the market. To me, the child in this video looks and sounds like a little girl saying help. Thoughts? Let's watch it. So this is a 3-second clip, and look at the upstairs. Bro, I just got chills all over my body. Look at the upstairs. There is something just running. It looks like a little girl just running upstairs. honestly, the first time I saw this video, I was looking at this entire setup, the way the camera's angled, even how the living room and the upstairs looks. Does this not remind anybody else about Paranormal Activity, like the movies? This looks like the start of one of the most disturbing horror movies that come out of 2025. Out of all three of those, which ones do you think were the most disturbing? Do you think some of these were real? Do you think all of these were real? Do you think some of these were fake? I'm curious to know how you would explain some of these. And also too, let me know, do you guys have any ghost stories? Have you ever captured something on camera and, you know, thought maybe it was something out of this world? If you've ever captured like a ghost video, feel free to email me it or DM me on Instagram the video, and I'd love to react to it for a video. Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.
I feel like number one was definitely the most concerning, because like, why did he fly into the door like that?
A flag from an anime show is now becoming the real-life symbol of Gen Z protests around the world. Multiple countries have been rocked by major youth-led protests recently, and the Jolly Roger pirate flag from the Japanese manga One Piece has now largely become the symbol and face of these movements in countries like Indonesia, Nepal, the Philippines, and even France. Banners with this symbol in crowds are now becoming common. It's being painted on the streets, raised outside of people's homes, and in Nepal, they even hung it on the Golden Gate of the burning parliament buildings. In fact, it's even gotten to the point where some governments like Indonesia have labeled it a treasonous act. One activist from Nepal said, "We wanted the movement to feel like a Gen Z movement." So these slogans and symbols used during the protests were linked with things that Gen Z youths could relate to. And it's not being used just because it's popular. It's also because the plot of the show revolves around a group of young people who, while in the pursuit of lost treasure, aim to challenge oppressive leaders. And it's been so effective because this anime symbol transcends language, culture, and borders, and it's become the reference to unite and galvanize young people from around the world. And when it's seen in this context, it's now becoming a rallying cry for the new generation to hold governments accountable for things like corruption, neglect, and censorship. And with more Gen Z protest plans stretching to other countries as well, the question becomes, will we be seeing more of the One Piece symbol or not?
Watch this. In that scenario, what do you do if this is a wild bear that comes up to you and gets you in this position? If you're a bear expert, please explain to me, what do you do in this scenario? Do you play dead? Do you fight back? Do you growl? Do you act big? What's the play here? He's literally pushing his foot down to see if he's dead, to see if he is a potential meal or not. Go back to the beginning of this video and watch that again when he puts his paw on the guy's foot. Look at how big his actual claws are. I went back and watched this a couple times just to really try to gauge how big those are. The claws are like a couple inches long, and there's 5 of them on each hand. And if you notice how big the paw is when it's sitting on the guy's foot, and he's like rocking him back and forth, the paw's bigger than the guy's foot. And then on the paw, there are 5 full-on knives that are multiple inches long. There's just no getting out of that. If that bear decides, for the sake of the video, let's say that's not a pet. Let's say it's a random bear in the woods. If that bear decides, okay, this is my next meal, there's nothing you're doing about that. You're done. He's having his way with you, and you're gone. So if there are any bear experts that have made it this far that are watching this video, please explain to me, in that scenario, what do you do?
I'll tell you what you should do. You should get out a trusty shotgun, and that's problem solved.
What happened to this man is arguably one of the worst things that could ever happen to you. This is known as the 1,000-yard stare, and yes, all these photos are 100% real. These photos mainly occurring during World War I and II, but there is more recent examples, of course. Known as the 1,000-yard stare because of what their eyes are saying, you may also know this in forms of shell shock. Now, what actually causes this is seeing something very sudden and extremely traumatic, such as in the war, where you may see people dying right in front of you, or traumatic events that you wouldn't even be able to repeat. Essentially being in an emotional shock that puts your body into this state where you can barely function. You've probably heard stories back in the wars of shell shock victims and how they were treated so badly as well, because we didn't really know that much about mental health and what to actually do with these people. We'd never really seen anything like it before. Nowadays there's a lot more treatment for this, so people can get the help they need. It's still absolutely horrendous and can leave people in ways like this, causing many physical effects such as headache, confusion, dizziness, falling all over the place, stuttering of words, insomnia, extreme anxiety, and sometimes even paralysis. So if you ever see a video of someone like this, just imagine what they're going through.
You know that movie Scream? Did you know that that inspired a real-life murder? Now the story starts with this guy, Brian. And Brian is 16, living in Idaho, and Brian loves scary movies. He especially loves the Scream franchise. In fact, he loves these movies so much that he wants to be like the killers in the movies and actually unalive someone. Like, he thinks that would be a big thrill. So he teams up with his best friend, this guy, Tori. And Tori is also 16, and he also loves scary movies. And at some point in 2006, these two get together and they start talking about wanting to murder people. Like, a lot of people. Like, they don't even think murdering people should be illegal. That's how into it they are. And so they make a death list of people they want to take out. Like people at school, and even some of their own friends are on the list. Then they start planning their first murder and how they're going to be able to pull it off without getting caught. And because they're film fans and because they're stupid, they decide to record everything.
I've always wanted to make a mark on the world and stuff, and this is a good way to do it.
And so then they get a hold of 4 different knives that they're going to use to pull this off. Then they pick a name from their death list, and one night they head over to this person's house.
So we're gonna fucking kill her and her friends, and we're gonna keep moving on. I heard some news about Kirsten. She's gonna be home alone from 6 to 7.
But they get there and they can see that this victim isn't alone, and so they have to call everything off. Then they pick another name, but same thing. This person ends up not being alone. In fact, they try several different times, but none of these would-be victims are alone, so they can't pull this off. So it looks like their murder plan isn't gonna work out. But then they hear about this girl, Cassie Jo. And Cassie Jo is also 16, and she's their friend who goes to school with them. And Brian and Tori hear that this coming weekend, Cassie Jo is supposed to be house-sitting for her aunt and uncle and taking care of their pets. And therefore, she's gonna be alone. And so Brian and Tori feel like this is the perfect opportunity to pull off their murder and make it just like that first Scream movie. And so Brian and Tori, they're all excited. And they even make masks to wear during the murder. They're kind of like the Scream mask, but, you know, different. And so anyway, eventually the big day comes. Friday, the day of the crime.
Our murder is supposed to happen tonight, so hopefully nothing will go wrong.
And they go to school that day, and they even see Cassie Jo there, and they like walk up to her, filming her.
Hello, Cassie. I'm getting you on tape, okay? Say hi, please. Hi. Okay, see ya.
Now, at some point that day, they find out that Cassie Jo's boyfriend, who we'll just call boyfriend, they find out that he's gonna be with Cassie Jo that night at her aunt and uncle's house. And so I guess Brian and Tori are like, whatever, we'll just unalive him too. Now apparently, Cassie Jo and boyfriend even invite Tori over to the house to watch a movie with them because, you know, they're all friends. And so it looks like Brian and Tori's plan is going perfectly so far. So then, later that night, the guys show up to the house Cassie Jo is house sitting. And Cassie Jo is happy they showed up, and she gives them a tour of the place, and they walk all through the house and the basement. Then, they all 4 go and they start watching a movie, Kill Bill Volume 2. And so everything's going fine. Then, at some point during the movie, Brian and Tori tell Cassie Jo and boyfriend that they're leaving because they want to go watch a different movie at a nearby movie theater. And so they leave, or at least they pretend to leave. They actually drive for about 15 minutes, and then they come back, and they park in a secluded spot a bit a ways from the house. Then they change into dark clothes, and they put on those masks that they made, and they get their knives. Then they sneak in through a back door that they had secretly unlocked while Cassie Jo was giving them a tour of the house. And that door leads them into the basement. So now they're hiding in the basement, and they want to try and lure Cassie Jo and boyfriend down there so that they can murder them. So they start making all this random noise, hoping that Cassie or someone will come check it out. But it doesn't work. No one comes down. Then they turn off all the power to the house by flipping the circuit breaker. But still, no one comes down to check it out. Then they start flipping the power on and off again a few more times. But still, nothing. Meanwhile, upstairs, Cassie Jo and boyfriend, they know something weird is going on. I mean, the power's going on and off. They can also see Aunt and Uncle's dog growling at the basement door. And they want to go check it out, but they're a little too freaked out to go down there. So they decide not to. Now, eventually, it gets late, and it's time for boyfriend to go home. And he doesn't want to leave Cassie Jo there alone with the power going in and out and stuff, so he calls and asks his mom if he can stay the night there. But unfortunately, mom says no. And so, ultimately, boyfriend's mom comes and picks him up, and he leaves. And now, Cassie Jo is there all alone. And I guess Brian and Tori know that boyfriend left because they start coming out of hiding. And boom, they hit the breaker, and they turn off the lights one last time. And now the whole house is dark, and they start creeping upstairs. And there, they find Cassie Jo lying on the couch, and they both take out their knives, and pow, they attack her, and they start stabbing her. And they stab her again, and again, and again, until she's unalived. They stabbed her more than 30 times. And then these crazy bastards, they're all excited and oh, they finally did it. They murdered their friend, just like the Scream movie. And so they leave the house and they run down the street back to their car. And they're so fired up, they have to turn on their camera and record.
Just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a f***ing joke. I'm shaking. I stabbed her in the throat and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the f*** up, we gotta get our act straight.
And after they're done celebrating, they go into Black Rock Canyon, which is like a local hiking trail, and they find a secluded spot, and they try and burn a bunch of the evidence, like, you know, the knives and the masks and some of the tapes they've been recording. And when that doesn't really work, they bury the rest of it. But like, why record all these videos if you're just gonna burn them? But anyway, a few days later, Cassie Jo's aunt and uncle, they get home and they find her body and they call 911. And so now the police are involved and they start investigating. And the first thing they do is they question boyfriend. And boyfriend tells them, yeah, these guys, Brian and Tori, they were at the house with us earlier that night. So then police call in Brian and Tori for questioning. And Brian and Tori, they have their story all straight. Like it's all thought out and coordinated. Except when police ask them, so you left early to go see a movie at a theater, right? And the boys are like, yep. And the police are like, so tell me about the movie you saw. And the boys are like, So police know something's going on. Like, they know they're guilty. And eventually, Brian confesses, and he leads police to where they buried all the evidence, and that's where they find the videotapes of them admitting to their crimes. And so, bam, police arrest Brian. Here's his mugshot. Also, bam, they arrest Tori. Here's his mugshot. And ultimately, they both get life in prison.
Dude, that's a well-deserved life in prison because, like, what are you doing? That was hella disturbing, dude. R.I.P. Tori.
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe.